Welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm Braethorn. How are we doing? Happy to see you guys. Sorry I'm late. Just some stream shenanigans. I had been neglecting this this profile for PC Matchmaking, which is a specific one for this. It has certain settings, and I changed other stuff, and I had to change a bunch of things back, and my computer didn't like it, so my camera on desktop wasn't showing up for some reason. So I just all right, I'll reboot the PC, and that's not the PC's fault, really. I think it's an issue with the CamLink Pro card, but whatever. It is all good. How's it going? Let me get my preview going over here so I can see it. There we go. Okay. Hi. How are you? I'm used to having my stream preview on the Elgato prompter here, so I can look myself in the eyes as I talk to you. It's kind of weird. But it's awesome. Like, anyone who's going to stream and that gets serious about it, consider putting your main camera behind one of these, because it's really, really cool. So again, sorry for the wait, everybody, but we're here, and yeah, we are doing PC matchmaking. Whether I think it's a good idea or not, I don't want to make y'all wait another, full 2 weeks to do any more. We were going to stop about 8 or 9 days before the launch, and then they moved the launch back. So not much I can do about that, but we can continue with what we were trying to do. Wait, what? Oh, I chose the wrong thing. Okay. Getting all my windows going here. I know what I should do. Go there. There we go. That way I can just... you can do things like having a bunch of tabs open. You can right-click and bookmark all tabs, and then you can right-click on that folder in your bookmarks and just open all tabs. And that's what I'm doing, because I usually have specific ones already open when I start the stream. I just hadn't done that yet. I feel like I'm off-center here. That's a little better. Okay. It does showcase the mess in here a little bit more, which I still haven't gotten around to cleaning from the 2 build streams, but it is what it is. So let me say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. Let's see. Dave Odell. Oh, I'm looking in YouTube chat right now. Dave Odell, Sailor X, how are y'all doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming in early. Appreciate that. Generally, if I know I'm going to start a bit late, which tonight I was cooking some enchiladas and it took a little longer than I thought it would. Sorry about that. Not from scratch or anything. I'm not that good. But yeah, I was cooking up dinner and it took longer than expected. But then all this stuff happened. New hiking stick. Very cool, Sailor. And Steve, how are you? Welcome. There's some guy Braethorn saying, sorry, everyone. Got to reboot my PC. Back in a moment. What a loser. AB2, thank you for liking the thumbnail. I've been using the same thumbnail for a lot of months. YouTube requires you to make a thumbnail to stream on their platform. It's a little bit annoying, but I guess it's cool. It's packaging for your stream. What's up, Alice? How are you? And Michael Sanders, welcome. Glad to have you. My friend is trying to join the chat. He subscribed, but it keeps saying chat is in subscriber mode only. Oh, well, try having him refresh the page or unsubscribe, resubscribe. I don't know. That's a little weird. I do have it that way because subscribing on YouTube is free, and basically if I'm going to give you free help that would normally cost money with another person, I just ask that you subscribe, and in order to verify that, I make it subscriber-only chat. But if it's causing a problem, I can temporarily turn that off. Please let me know if that persists. Michael? John Paul Bacon, welcome. And I'm caught up there. Sailor saying, looks like the AMD chips got delayed due to being mislabeled. I think it was a little more than that. I think they were in a bit of a rush to get everything out, and perhaps there could be some they themselves are like, this is not meeting up to our performance requirements, so we're getting back. My review unit we're waiting on that right now. They're sending out a new chip for them for that review unit. So yeah, it all got delayed. I was also going to be getting a second 9000 series system from someone, a system I'm really excited for, but they were also delayed on getting their press units. So it's like, what are you going to do? They don't have the CPUs. Can't build the PC. Dappy F says, let's go. Welcome. Coggle, how are you? Hayden, welcome in. Crash, welcome. Dark Dreams 01, welcome in. Dodger Dog, how are you? And here we go. Guess what ice cream flavor I'm eating? Pistachio? I don't know. Hey, Brandon, shirt, where'd you get it? Braythorn.tech. I like the weathered look. This is one of my favorite designs that I did. And this is like the sort of olive drab color. I don't know if that's the right name for it. It's like not kind of an army green kind of color. I really like it. If you don't want bright colors, but of course, if you do, this comes in purple as well, because of course it does. Whenever I'm looking through the list of products I can make on any platform, but same thing was with Fourth Wall, I basically would look through anything they had, and if it didn't come in on apparel anyway, some of them don't come in purple, but I really want that thing, and I'm like, okay, fine, that's an exception. But most of them need to be available in purple. Like the denim jacket, they're not going to have a purple denim jacket. I get that. That's understandable. But all the t-shirts are available in a couple shades of purple. I think it's called Heather Gray. Heather Gray is not that. Heather Gray is like a dark, sort of not mottled, but like it's not a smooth gray, and it's a darker color. But it doesn't have the green tone that this does. Oh, Mike, what's going on? Mike992, welcome in. Bun Meadow, how are you? Braythorn said he unsubscribed, subscribed again, still not go. I'm sure it's his fault. He's a lawyer. Okay, well, I'm not going to fight him on that. He'd probably win. So I'm going to go ahead and let me change that setting real quick. Here, music. All right, so now anyone can chat, whether you're subscribed or not, but I ask that you do if you feel like it. If you feel like what I'm doing here provides you with some usefulness and you want to support what I do. And there will be more and more reasons to subscribe as time goes on, as I'm making more content that's going to help you out, even after you get your pre-built. What's up, Deathly Nightshade? How's it going? Why are you yelling at me? Look at this, yelling at me right there. What's going on with that? Eating Haagen-Dazs white chocolate raspberry truffle ice cream. That I would not. How would I have guessed that? There's no way I would have guessed that. That is not like a standard flavor. Bun Meadow, is Phoenix PC still worth buying? They're local-ish to me and need an actual PC. Okay, and you also want to stream. Yeah, Phoenix PC is awesome. And if you're in that area, they're not the only option. But if you like their deals and you like that they stream every build that they do, they have very, very, very competitive pricing. But you have them. You have also Power GPU is in the same area as well. And also, now there's a Micro Center there. Oh, boy. See, that's the thing. If you're near that Micro Center, you're also near Power GPU and Phoenix PC. So if you still want to get it from an SI, you don't need to go to a Micro Center. If you can get it, if you want to get it, if you like, I like Power GPU, or Jesse's funny on social media, or I like Phoenix PC, I want to see them build it live on stream. Micro Center doesn't do that. Then you still have the situation where if there's warranty work that needs to be done, you can just drop it off. You don't need to ship it, which is the main reason why I recommend Micro Center as much as I do if you're near one. If you're not near one, welcome to my world. Neither am I. Have you played Terraria before? Yeah, I did a few streams of Terraria back when I was doing more gaming streams. It's fun. I think music's fun. I like the music in that one, but it is deceptively difficult, that game. Their chocolate peanut butter ice cream is so good. I like their They used to carry a dark chocolate that was really just smooth. You know, that semi-sweet dark chocolate, that little bit of bite that it has. Oh, man. Anything dark chocolate will get me. You know. Blood Little Dog says, out of all the builds that you've done, is the Corsair build kit worth getting for 1,000, or is a better way? Heil Vester's Warner, your thoughts on that? Blood Little Dog, your autocorrect is not functioning right now, is it? I'm not sure exactly. I don't know who Heil Vester's Warner is, but I don't know them, so I have no opinion on them. To be fair, Braythorn, when people like you as a fan, there's that moment of like, hi. Hey, that's fair, Doc. Thank you guys. Sorry, it's okay. Crypto Knight, welcome. Bun Meadow, I'm about 2 to 3 hours away, so not that local, but I don't know any PC builders in South Carolina upstate area. Okay, yeah. Sailor, Bray's Corsair build stream was way better than Scattervolt's. No condescending. Well, okay, that's Scattervolt though. Scattervolt is hilarious in person. Like, he's just a funny dude, and I don't know how much of that he like adjusts for his content, but if he was extra condescending and stuff, guys, there have been streams I have done where afterwards I felt like I was a jerk that whole stream because I was exhausted or whatever the excuse was. It's never really something that I personally can justify. So I know what it's like to maybe like you're feeling a certain way about something, and I don't know. I like Scattervolt. I think Scattervolt's a cool dude. He's always been like, every time he sees me, look, at CES this year, we didn't exchange any words. He just, I was just talking, I think I was outside the MSI suite, and I just feel a whack, just a right on the tuchus, and I'm like, and I look, and he's just like, he's just a unique individual, and every time I see him, it smiles all around, you know. And that's one of the content creators who, at my first CES, when I met the most content creators in my field, that was like the first event where I met a lot of people who do what I do, that I watch and look up to. He walked up to me, instead of the usual situation where I'm explaining what I do and who I am. He walked up to me, he's like, Brayathorn, dude, I love your stuff, man. I like what you're doing. I was like, I've watched your videos for a little while, man. Okay, that's a little weird to hear that from you, but okay. Thanks. And we were buds ever since. Pulse of Earth, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Now look at that. 3 months. Now you have power, wisdom, and courage. Look at that. But yeah, if he had like an off night during a certain stream, I can totally relate to that, guys. There's times where I'm not at my best, and y'all are very gracious about that, and I definitely appreciate it. Where you're like, dude, it's okay, you're good, get some rest, all that. He might have had one of those. I don't know. There's a Micro Center near me, says Black Crypto Knight, and I just stopped by to just to walk around. It can be overwhelming. It really can, but the people there are generally very helpful. Definitely is, but the place is so cool if you go in with a well thought out parts list. Doc, I feel like you can go in without that, even though that's what I provide. You can go in without that, and they got you. I wish there was a Micro Center here in Washington State. Seattle might be getting one. I think Seattle might be getting one. I feel like I heard that somewhere. It's kind of crazy that they're not in Seattle already. Like that wasn't one of their. I mean, Microsoft. All that. There's a lot of tech there. A lot of tech in Seattle, or in that area. Anton made it. Welcome. 38 in chat, but only 15 likes. That just does not add up, Anton. I don't know what's going on. Lucky, I don't have any courage. It's not something I'm usually cool with, Crash, if you're referring to the Scattervolt story. But again, the thing about it is this. When you want people to accept you, that's a good feeling, right? You want to feel accepted. Do you know what the first step is to being accepted by others? Accepting them first. Especially any quirks that they've got. If they're quirky people, appreciate that. And no, you know, if maybe it rubs you the wrong way, that's okay. You don't need to be around that person all the time. But maybe there's quirks about you that rub them the wrong way. And maybe they're going to be gracious about it. You know, maybe they're going to be cool with it. Maybe they'll laugh it off. I laughed it off. I was like, man, Scott, just him. That's it. I couldn't see anybody else doing that and being like, you know, he's one of those guys who kind of like me. I am a little bit this way as well. He's one of those people where he meets you, and if you engage in some way, it's like he's been your friend for years. And that's how it was. It was like that. And I'm like, yeah. I live in one of the biggest cities in the U.S. You'd think they'd have a micro center, but heck no. Phoenix is the city, but got you. Yeah, no micro center there. How's your day, Bray? I hope your day was fantastic. I am trying to... I always make this mistake, and it bothers the hell out of me that I do this. But I have a few videos to upload. And do I focus on one, get the job done, get it posted, and move on to the next one? No. I'm like, oh, I need to do this one for that video, or I need to get this pickup shot, or I need to get this B-roll shot for this one. And I just keep like, ooh, squirrel, shiny. I just, like, if I try to do everything, I get nothing done. That was today. That was me today. With, of course, the last SI Weekly I felt was necessary before the launch of 9000 series is already done. It's the one where I went over a bunch of 7800X 3D systems. That's mostly what I'll push tonight. If you guys are looking for I'm still going to heavily recommend that you wait until August 15th now, not the 31st of July, but August 15th, because look, if you've gone years without a PC, a couple of weeks isn't going to ruin the world. You know, it's not going to ruin the whole experience for you, especially if you find out that, oh, you know what? Not only did I, you know, if it, you know, you could adjust your budget a little bit, do things like that, maybe focus instead on getting the other parts for your setup ready, you know, a little desk, chair, whatever you're going to do. But if someone's looking for a gaming PC and it's like $1,500 and up usually, or maybe $1,800 and up, depending, $1,500 and up, that's going to be a 7800X 3D system. Because I don't think that anything is going to beat that price to performance for gaming coming out from AMD. And I think they know that. Not until the next 3D V-Cache chips come out. Now, there's speculation that that's going to be not as far away as I thought. It could be a couple of months. But the 7800X 3D ain't going to slow down just because something else launches at that point. You know, this is a delicate balance I always have to try and reach. It's like, I could just tell you guys to wait for a year and see what comes out. Yeah, it'll be better for the same money because a year has passed. And that's what technology does. It gets better. So I try to toe that line carefully as I can. Any plans of live testing stream next week when 9700X drops? Well, it's not next week. It is going to be in 2 weeks from Thursday. 2 weeks from Thursday. And I am live testing. 2 weeks from Thursday, baby. There we go. We're doing it. It's going to be great. I'll give him a second chance. I appreciate that, Sailor. The real storm, for some reason your Twitch stream keeps crashing on me. No one else on Twitch has mentioned it. We would see it right here. I don't know what that's about. Santa Clara is getting one. Santa Clara. Very cool. Where is that? Well said, very true. Probably about the quirkiness thing. Anton says my RX 6650 XT is supposed to arrive tomorrow. Hopefully I'll build this weekend. That's a great GPU. I love videos like this for people. Thanks, dude. Review for the tube. Sure, you got it. Absolutely. And, well, the thing is, my videos, my series SI Weekly, it has a lot. I mean, there's nothing like it else on YouTube. And there hasn't, like, nobody covers pre-builds as deeply as I do. No one goes into the SIs quite as much as I do and really talks about their strengths and like no one covers this industry the way I do. And that's not, it's a problem. I want more people to cover what I covered. I was just saying this in a meeting earlier. It's like when I watch YouTube, I don't watch a video of what I'm interested in or needing to watch and say, oh, I'm so full, I couldn't watch another video. No, you just keep going. So the more pre-built content, the more alternate viewpoints that you have, the better, right? Except for that one dude that recommended HP Omen over Alexander PCs. Are you kidding me? Really? OEM proprietary garbage over the most well-respected SI in our community. Sure. Because it's more expensive. It's a boutique builder, buddy. It's a boutique builder. Whatever. I disagreed with them. That's fine. But they don't quite, again, they don't do it like I did. They just kind of talk about stuff that's online. I actually review stuff, and I work directly with SIs to get stuff to show you guys and all that stuff. Figure out what's going on behind the scenes, share what needs to be shared, all that kind of stuff. It's a little different, but whatever. But those videos are really generalized, as they need to be. They need to be generalized to help as many people as possible over a broad spectrum. The streams, though, are for anyone who finds that that's not enough. That's not enough for you? Okay. Totally fine. We have these streams where I can help you one-on-one, but that if these streams keep going, like if they grow as large as they used to be, because they used to be just on Twitch, 120 people or so would come in at a given time, things like that. We'll have to change the way we do this because I'll never catch up with the amount of people who are submitting forms, and we might need to do like a random draw. But thankfully, luckily for you guys, we're not there yet. But I like to help people one-on-one, and then all the results of every single person I've helped are available to you at our Matchmaker history spreadsheet. So there's that. You can always, like, even if you don't, if someone in the future is like, I've gone to several streams and I've never gotten picked, if they're really big at that point. I mean, I guess that would be a good problem to have, but I like the way it is right now where I can really engage with you guys. Anyway, I don't think these will ever get that big, though. And the reason is most people who come in here get their help and then they never come back. And that's okay. I'm not here to become famous. I'm here to help. And oh God, that sounds like, wow. No, I'm just saying, like, I would, my main stuff is making YouTube videos. I don't need to be a top streamer. I don't think I've got that, whatever that thing is that they've got, for one thing. But it looks so freaking stressful. No, thank you. I would like my main stuff to be the sort of cultivated content that we have painstakingly put together for you guys and presented in the way we want to. Live streaming to massive audiences, even just being on the full nerd is nerve-wracking at times. Who needs an upgrade path, right? What? Have you done any parts lists on these streams from Charlotte Micro Center yet? Nope, I don't think so. Any plans? Okay. What GPU are you using? I actually don't have the system specs yet, Dodger Dog, on the system with the 9700X. We're going to find out. Evening, Jazzman. How's it going? Kupo Catnip, welcome. Glad to see you. Rarutu, welcome in. Happy Friday to you, too. Wait, Friday? Why do you keep saying Happy Friday? It's Tuesday. You did it on Sunday, I think. Hey, Brave, you done any parts? Yeah, I already answered that. The more you watch, the more you save. Oh, God. Where do I sign up for this? That's the thing that just posted right above that where it says, want to get help getting the right PC for your budget? I think people by nature ignore timers on streams. There you go, Little Shifty. Looking forward to the live testing stream. Me too. They're also sending a 7700X along with it. I don't have one on hand. I only have a 7800X 3D to test, but I don't know if I should test that. For one thing, reviews will already be out. They're going to be launching at like 6 a.m. on the 15th. Okay. I'm missing that because I want to do this live. I'm losing out on views. I don't care. I want to do this live with you guys. That's how I prefer to do these things. So it's a way of showing not to say any content creators are hiding anything, but it's also a way to do all this. For one thing, there's not a ton of post-production for me to worry about because I need to be worried about the series I'm trying to work on. And also, we get to experience it together. And I get to do my unboxing stuff where I show people how to set up the PC, do all these different things, how to inspect it. I just prefer to do it that way. I'll do more of a standard type, like, I don't know. I don't put a lot of charts in my reviews because from what I've been told and from what I've seen, most pre-built buyers are not really looking for those. The hardware has already been reviewed. I'm reviewing the company that's built and sent the PC and the quality of the PC itself, whether it can cool itself or not, that main stuff. But we are going to be getting into some solid benchmarks on this. We're going to be actually testing that out. And it's not just going to be that. How does it perform thermally? How much power is it using to reach performance numbers? I don't have the full stack, the full product stack. That's okay. It's just going to be the 9700X, which is a really good, it's a good point to review because that's kind of going to get the slightly more budget-oriented ones. And then some higher-end systems, if it's just gaming only, aren't really going to need anything with more cores. PC Matchmaking is back. What's up, Medic? How's it going? Yeah, for just a couple of streams. We have now, 15 days again until the launch of the... Maybe, unless they just pull a fast one on us again. I need to reach out to the person I talked to at AMD and see what's going on. But, I mean, we already have some ideas of what's going on. Some misprints on the IHS, and also them claiming the performance numbers aren't ideal. Not what they anticipated, so they're... Yeah. Chillax and watch them unbox it. Yeah. What's your favorite shade of purple or green? My favorite shade of purple is more like a blurple. It is electric indigo. I've shared that a few times. But Deathly Nightshade is close. It's not electric purple. It's electric indigo. Yeah, so that is actually a lot less red, but it's not pure blue. It's like the RGB values are 104 red, green is 0, blue is 255. So it's like full blue and about 105 on red. So it is a blurple color. That's actually my favorite. There you go. Okay. I need to catch up with YouTube chat. Sorry, guys. Review for the Tube got me talking about what I do. Multitasker, that needs to always having something going just like I do. Yeah. I still haven't unboxed. I will tomorrow when my 4K monitor arrives. Oh, okay. Let it flow there, says Victor 4. Sometimes HP Omen on super sale can be worth it as a bargain. They're better than Dell. That's what they've got going for them. I think I need to turn the brightness up on this light. It's looking a little dim. Yeah, that's better. That's my fill light over here. That's what that's called. You have your key light, and then you have a fill light. I need a rim light, actually. Don't really want to call it a hair light. Let's see. Yeah, I own Born Dogs. Bomb Dogs. Bomb Dogs? Victor 4, I don't know what's happening over there. I paid $60. How much? I bet never shipped. For clear vinyl. What are you... Victor, are you okay? Do we have our first bot? Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say first bot. We had a lot in Twitch, but our first one in YouTube. That'd be interesting. Let's see. There's also somebody like me who already got their PCs and enjoy watching good content. AB2, that's what I'm really getting at. What I was getting at with the whole people, why this stream will never be huge. It grows very steadily, but very slowly, because there are people who find a community they really like, and they like hanging out with each other and with me, and then we do these streams. And it's just that you get to experience this same thing, this feeling of like hypeness of like, oh, this is hype, where someone was unsure of where to spend this hard-earned money, and like, whoa, they're happy now. This is great, and you get to keep learning stuff. You know, and yeah, it's some for there, you know, That's something that I really like about this, is that the people who do stick around do it because they really want to, not because they want something from me, because they really want to be here. But I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with coming and getting your help and not coming back. I would just prefer it if you did. You know, it doesn't have to be every time, but like, come hang out. And as you get your first PC, you can use these streams to continue learning more, and maybe pass some of that knowledge along. Half the reason for learning something is to share that knowledge. That's how I feel. A dome light, Rutu, that does make sense. I like that. I do like Dell monitors though. Oh, Dell monitors are great. Dell laptops are really good. Their PCs. No, don't do that. Don't buy those. Mm-mm. Okay, we're going to have to get into this. I'm going to see if anyone has submitted the form. For those in the YouTube chat, check the description. Just note, for everybody who wants to go up tonight to get a little session here and have me help you out, understand this. My number one thing I'm going to tell you is to hold off until the launch of 9000 series Ryzen. It's just the wise thing to do in this situation. But if you just need a gaming PC, if it's just for gaming and not for content creation or streaming or any of that, if it's just for gaming, I only really feel comfortable recommending the 7800X 3D for the CPU. Reason is, 7600X is the thing. Yes, the 9600X should be better. The 7700X is the thing. The 9700X should be better. And so on, and also so forth. As for Intel, until mid-August, whenever that is, when they drop the microcode update for 13th and 14th gen, I'm not really comfortable recommending those. And when they do drop that microcode, and people have tested it and seen that it's more stable, hopefully, then I'm fine recommending 14th gen for someone who really wants Intel and doesn't care about upgrading their CPU. But by that point, we're going to know how much AMD's new CPUs beat those out in performance. Really, really bad move on Intel for letting this sit for so long. Like, they handed the market to AMD on a silver platter. Man, really is worst case scenario for them. And also, 13th gen, any 13th gen CPUs have a risk of oxidization that occurred during manufacturing. We don't know. Unless you send it in for failure analysis, and in which case you're sacrificing the part anyway. And it's also very expensive. Victor 4, I appreciate you keeping the stream going with a lot of those messages you put in there, but I do not know what you're saying. Fill out the form in the description for... Oh, yeah, I was about to say that. That's right. Anyone in the YouTube chat, read the description. The link to the form is there. Please fill out the form so that you can answer the questions I need you to answer so I can give you valid help. For Twitch chat, you'll see it pop up every now and then from Stream Elements. It'll say, want help getting the right PC for your budget and needs? Fill out this form. Note, submitting this form does not guarantee that. Yes, all that stuff. The link is right there. Well, it'll be right there, but you're not going to see it here. It's just going to be in there. You see it probably there. Let me see if no, it's there. You're gonna see it in chat right there. Not this chat, that chat. There we go. It's hard to orient things when you're backwards on your monitor. Whatever. Anyway. So let's see. How's your day been, Braithorn? I think I answered that already, but it's been all right. It's been all right. Got your hunting fishing license. That's cool. Congrats on that. So actually, I do have a question, Medic says. Is there any drawback to putting a tower fan in front of a PC tower to blow more air through the front fans? That's not going to do much. The job of that job is for the case fans. And the reason is, when you have a separate source of air, just kind of blowing air in that general direction, it's not necessarily going to force its way through that mesh. It's mostly just going to go around your PC. It can help for dissipating any haze, any heat haze from the exhaust, but the exhaust's job, exhaust fans are supposed to push that air as hard as it can to get it away and to allow, keep it away from intake so it doesn't, putting a fan right there, not a big deal, not going to help much unless you get yourself one of those portable AC units that actually lowers the ambient temperature of that air. That could help, but that's going to lower the ambient temperature in your room anyway, which, by the way, guys, whatever the ambient temperature is in your room, that is going to affect your overall temps. So if you keep your room really hot and if you're comfortable that way, cool, that's fine. But your temps are going to run a little higher because of that. Keep that in mind if you're ever comparing your own numbers versus some review that you watched. Okay, so Hayden's is saying the stream is freezing. Is anybody else experiencing any problems with the Twitch stream? Y'all gotta let me know if that's happening. None whatsoever? Okay. Dodger Dog, 7800X3D doesn't require an AIO, right? I can run that with a Peerless Assassin cooler, right? I mean, you can. It'll self-regulate, and it'll basically give you a little bit less performance if it's not getting the most cooling. CPUs do that. If you want to run a 14900K on like a Hyper 212, you could do that, but it's going to sit at 100 degrees Celsius all the time, or it'll lower its frequencies to match with the cooling that it has. That's what CPUs do now. They'll max out their temps and then lower their frequencies to stay in range. It's not my favorite thing. IC Native says none. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate that. It's a good use for a first time chat right there. I see that crash. That's I think you shoehorned the Bray in that one, but yeah, Peerless Assassin should be fine. Basically one of the benefits AIOs have over air cooling is their ability to absorb heat spikes, because they have all that volume of water in there, which can absorb some of that. It basically means that it'll just like it'll sort of help smooth out some heat spikes as much as possible. Whereas air cooling it's got its upper limits, but every cooler has its upper limits. It's just any really spiky variations in temperature are going to be a little bit leveled out with, it's going to help a little bit on an AIO from my experience, and that's even more so in a custom loop, but most people don't need those. Custom loops are never really a need these days, that's for sure. Got one of those error codes with the red box, but I don't think that's a me issue. Error code with a red box. In what, Dr. Dog? Not sure what you mean there. No, you do 2K. It's beautiful up there. Cool. All right, Victor. DJ Fifth Light filled out the form. Awesome. John Paul Bacon. The Ryzen 700X3D is currently the go-to CPU for a strictly gaming-only system. Beats out even the Ryzen 9 750X3D and trades places with the Intel 14900K. The main reason it actually, I'd say it trades blows, John, with the 7950X3D as well. Not that it just totally beats it out. And that's mostly because of core parking. Because the 7950X3D has to worry about parking the other CCD and managing all that stuff, and it doesn't always work very well. But it works pretty well. If you're just gaming, though, you do not need a 7950X3D. That's if you're doing gaming and content creation and stuff. I was more asking if the 7800X3D runs hot. No, by definition, it is thermally limited. They have kept its temperatures down. I think at 85 or not 85. It's not 95 like regular Ryzen 7000 series. It keeps it under 85 degrees. So yeah, but it will lower its frequencies to do that and lower its power draw in order to manage that if the cooling is insufficient. That's why whenever I see a custom loop with a 7800X3D, I'm like, you can't overclock that. Yeah, it'll help with the longevity. Okay, yes. But you can't why do that? But yes, it does run much cooler than 13th and 14th gens, Dodger Dog, but that's by necessity because of its thermal limitations. Because it's got 3D stacked VCAche, 3D stacked cache on top of your actual processors, your cores. So that means that your CCDs, the little chiplets that have 8 cores each, right? They're not directly touching the IHS. There's cache in between them and some silicon and stuff like that. That means that's not good necessarily for thermals, but they make it work. Apparently, there are rumors that the 9000 series 3DV cache chips are going to be unlocked for overclocking, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's necessary at all, because frequency is not what makes those great. It's the cache. You guys proved the frequency doesn't matter. That cache wins over frequency, so like, why make them able to improve to increase the frequency if it doesn't really help that much? I'm okay with not overclocking those. That's great. It works. It still decimates all. What are you worried about? Used to be a good night. My PC died last night. It is time to replace it, says David. David, fill out that form. We'll see what we can do for you. I'm guessing you probably don't want to wait till the 15th. I don't know. I think look, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to time out Victor. And we'll see if that works out. Because that was a lot. Like, I get it. I don't mind having a lot of activity in the chat, but I want it to be genuine chatter, not... I don't know what was being said there. It was just randomness. Oh yeah, Deathly Nightshade. Thank you for letting David know to fill out the form. Appreciate that. Hey Bray, will a gaming PC keep a room warm during winter? Yes, it will. You are taking electricity and turning it into ones and zeros, and whatever's left over gets turned into heat. So, yeah. It also keeps rooms hot during the summer. This room gets really hot. Whenever Ari and I would be both gaming in here, it would get very hot. Love to see graphene-based chips if it's CPU or GPU. I think they were looking at some, I don't know, some new materials for it. Filled out. Thanks. Awesome. And guys, don't rush those forms, okay? Don't rush those forms, because when you filled out that form, you agreed that if you ignored any of the instructions in the form, you agree to be roasted on chat. Roasted in stream, rather. Live on stream. So thank you for agreeing to that. It does make this fun for me. This is already fun for me. Don't get that. Don't take that wrong. It is very fun for me, regardless. But okay, we do have quite a few people who've joined tonight. We have 5 people who just joined tonight. So now it's time for roll call, everybody. So here's how this works. Here's what you got to do. You see this name right here. Believe it or not, this is what I go by, Brayathorn. Okay? I need you to type an @ symbol in chat and Brayathorn right after that. It'll fill it out for you. You put in BRAE, it'll fill out the rest for you. And after that, put I'm on the list. So @ Brayathorn space, I'm on the list. Do that in both Twitch, or either in Twitch or YouTube chat, whichever one you're hanging out in. Typing my name in there highlights the chat for me so that I can find it and I can mark you down here as being here right now. Well, DJ Fifth Light, looks like you got caught by the form here. Let's go ahead and switch over so I can explain myself. What I'm talking about there is that there's an option that skips the entire rest of the form. If you're not ready to buy, and you're going to buy more than a month from now, it tells you in the form. I'll go to it right here. Right here, more than a month from now, you should not submit this form yet. So you selected that, and it skipped all these sections here and went right to the end where you had to submit it. And I put in bold, if your answer to the second question brought you directly here, please do not submit your form. It's better if you get assistance within a few weeks of making your purchase. I have had people come through this because they're like, well, I don't know what my budget should be. Whatever it can be. That's not for me to decide or to advise you on. I can't tell you what you can pay and still... What's wrong with my chat? I just realized my chat's wrong here. Let me fix that. There we go. Fixed it. But yeah, that's there to help you realize that, yeah, you're not ready to get the help yet. Figure out what your budget's going to be. Remember that whatever you spend, this is an investment in something that you're going to be using for years. And just figure out a maximum budget that you can be at around the time you're ready to buy. It's not really for me to do. I didn't see that part of the forum. It's the only one that you legitimately interacted with. Other than putting your name. That was the only other question. But okay. I need to fix my lighting in this. 1 second. Let's just see here. Color correction. Is it the contrast with gamma or no? Nah. It was a little oversaturated too. That looks better. Okay. So let's go back to this. Okay, so Black Kryptonite is here. And Lil Shifty, you're here. Okay. Yo, Igor! Thank you for coming in and gifting 2 tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. What's up, buddy? How are you? Welcome. What overlay are you using in OBS? I made this one using some free plugins. You saw some of them there when I was editing that. Here, I'll show you. No, that's the wrong window. That goes here. So I'm using color correction, which is a built-in one in OBS, advanced mask, glow, and like the move plugin. Those 3 I got from GitHub. One creator made all of those, I believe, and they're incredibly useful and they are free. But advanced mask is why it looks the way it does. Like I can center it however I want. I can zoom if I want, rotate it, whatever. Change corner radiuses, and I changed it to custom because I don't need those corners rounded. And I just chose the top left and bottom left and put the same number of pixels on the curve. And then there's crazy stuff you can do with the advanced mask. There is some inner feathering, but I don't really actually end up using that. But what I did was I have a stroke on here. So this uses a background that I have, which is a rotating star field thing, a field of stars. And it will, right here, you use a source, another source within OBS that's behind everything else. Anyways, whatever. And then I'm using the glow, and then I'm using the move plugin to move values within glow, which is how intense they are. So you see it glow cyan, and then you'll see it dim, and then you'll see it glow purple, and then it'll dim. So it's just fun stuff. It's not necessary at all. I just think it looks cool. And I did the same thing for the chat box right up there. You can see it. All I did was make the filters once, and then I copied them over and pasted them. Anyway, the color correction one is a necessary. You got to use, do a little color correction. I don't think this looks actually that great, but I don't really have the time to sit in and really tweak it. But okay, Black Kryptonite, Lil Shifty. Who else said they're here? But how are you doing, Igor? Glad to see you, bud. Mark Mieta and David. All here. I mean, I know you're here too. YouTube DJ, Fifth Light. I know you're here too. But we're going to go ahead and I might remove that one because you couldn't actually submit any helpful info there because it doesn't really let you do that. All of that stuff, all the answers to the answers to a lot of those questions could change in the next, in the next 2-3 months or however long it takes you to hold off. So yeah, usually I'll just delete these and you can give it another shot when you're closer to making your purchase. But once you do submit that, I'm like, okay, let me know when you're ready, because I've had some people they're like, oh, no, I changed my mind now. I'm going to buy it this month. And I'm like, okay. And then I do that. And I had someone come back with a comment on a YouTube video like, hey, I'm ready to buy now. Do you think that option you showed me is still good for me? And no, it wasn't. There were better deals at that point. It had been like 3 months. And you can't go through the whole process again once you've done it, unless you're like, yeah, this is for my cousin, I guess. But then that allows people to sort of lie their way into getting more help when other people haven't gotten any help at all. It's a whole deal. Anyway, so it looks like we're doing a Micro Center build first. And these are all okay. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, David, what I said earlier in the stream, you might not have been here yet, was if you want a PC for anything other than just gaming, you should wait until Ryzen 9000 series launches. I'm anticipating that those CPUs are going to be a pretty strong step forward in content creation performance, in video editing performance. Coding, game design, yes, that too. So I would say in your case, you can't really afford to like not wait for that. If you're spending if you're spending $2,500 on a PC or more, yeah, give it a couple of weeks. Wait till those come out. Watch for the reviews. Just gaming, though, there's probably not going to be anything that's a better price to performance value than the 7800X 3D after the launch of 9000 series, until the next 3D V-Cache chips come out. And those are still going to be more expensive than 7800X 3D. That thing is going to be a monster for a long time. Same thing with the 5800X 3D. I don't know why I said it that way. Same thing with the 5800X 3D. That one was valid for a very long time. Lil Shifty, I'm aware you're here. That's why you're marked in purple. I saw it earlier when you spelled my name correctly that time. Before. Not this time. The PSU is a major contributor to the heat in your system and room. Using, say, a 1300 watt versus an 850 watt for a system that may only need 700 watts, a 1300 watt PSU will make your room feel like an oven, where the 850 watt... John Paul Bacon, I hate to say this, but you're categorically incorrect there. It is the opposite. Because the higher wattage power supply is built for much higher wattages, and your system is not going to draw anything near the nominal wattage on the box. That's going to run a lot cooler than something that is running closer to its capacity at all times. So it's not that big of a difference, actually. They'll run about the same, probably. It just comes down to how much wattage your system is drawing at the time. But it will be a minor difference, and the higher wattage higher wattage PSU is more set up for handling higher watts, so the parts run cooler. It's the same thing as a conundrum with power delivery on motherboards, okay? Bear with me here, all right? So when you get a cheap motherboard, you see the VRMs there, all the power delivery there, all the, all your pieces for that. And sometimes they don't even have a heatsink on them, and there's fewer of them, right? So say you have an 8-phase power delivery on your motherboard. Well, take that same CPU and put it on a motherboard with 16-phase. Now, all of those, they're probably higher quality for one thing, and also they have better heat sinks on them because they're more expensive motherboard. But also they run cooler because they're dividing the load more evenly, like between more phases. And it's kind of the same thing with power supplies. Okay, anything that's going to be over 1,000 watts is generally going to run a little bit cooler than something that's going to be but it's a minor difference. It's really has more to do with the capacity for power it has to push and what it needs to be built to be able to do. Is there a good analogy for this? I guess before I said you're categorically incorrect, it's more of you're slightly incorrect on that. Really, it's not the point to look at with power supplies. Anyway, that was fun, I guess. It's good to think that way, though. It's good to think in terms of like, how is this thing generating heat? What can I do to mitigate that? And yeah, but whatever heat you're generating, it's going to go into your room regardless of how it's delivered there. Radium says, I can't... okay, so I don't know if that's in a different language, Radium. And if so, I don't know what it means, so I'm not going to say it. But sure thing. And though we do welcome everyone here, everyone is welcome to the stream. It is listed in the terms of the stream, like the rules for the chat, that though everyone is welcome here, people from all walks of life and all types of people are welcome here. The language is the language for the stream is English, and the language for the chat is English. So if you can accommodate that, I would appreciate that. $5,700G, 48 gigs of RAM, and a 1070. Updated CPU and RAM. Next, I need to upgrade the PSU and GPU. Okay. Robert Fixit says, last summer someone ordered a system for under 2K. Wanted to be quite cool. He's fan. Okay. Curious what that would cost today. I'm sure you can take that parts list, put it on PC Part Picker, and find out. I mean, I can't guess it off the top of my head. That's for sure. What's up, Angry Beaver? Welcome, buddy. How are you? I love more power. Show the people what the VRM are. It's the things around the CPU socket. It's the little squares around the CPU socket. It's the little SoCs. Not SoCs. It's the little SMDs, surface-mounted devices, surface-mounted bits that are on there, that you're usually hidden under heat sinks. So on most motherboards, you won't even see it that well anyway. You'll see like the edges of them. Okay. So let's go ahead and get this started. See, now I would say this, Anton, you know how I usually do things is like, and you're asking questions, which is good, but usually I would be like, okay, what resolution? You say 1080p. Watts of the current PSU. Good. Okay, all right. So DJ Fifth Light, Anton, I'm going to say this. DJ Fifth Light had a question about my stream. And what does that tell you? They probably want to stream. Now, even though you can use the new OBS features with the 6000 series AMD Radeon GPUs, I would still suggest, for if you're going with something on the more budget end, going with NVIDIA, because you get more extras with it that help with streaming, NVIDIA broadcast, all that kind of stuff. This is why I ask a bunch of questions like what's the use case, all that kind of stuff. Notice you asked about gaming, but didn't catch the streaming questions. So that's generally, DJ Fifth Light, that's generally why I ask you to go through the form. But again, if you're not ready to get anything, hold off until you are. Don't make any purchasing decisions, in a rush. If you're not in a rush, if you can wait, then wait. Okay. The Observer of Thoughts. You just submitted your form. I'm going to say to you the same thing that I said to David. Okay, because it says here. I hope you heard the stuff I was saying there. Wow. Okay. Yeah. You need to wait for Ryzen 9000 series. Absolutely, unequivocally, wait a couple of weeks before you do this. Okay, I can just, for both of y'all, I can leave your form submissions there. I'm not going to necessarily delete them. But if you're doing streaming, content creation, graphic design, all these things, other than anything but just gaming, wait until Ryzen 9000 series launches. You'll probably be better off for it. Okay, it's 15 days away. So we'll leave that there, and that means you have your spot on the list to get help. People who join to get help after the launch, they're going to come after you. You're going to be helped first, or you're going to be helped earlier. There are other people who are waiting, and they'll come back as well. But yeah, you'll be helped earlier because you submitted the form now. So Black Crypto Night, we're going to get ready to get started on yours now. If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that. So let's do it. Crash, yes, you could. I'm not sure what if I need these PCs down the road? Can we fill out the form again then? Yeah, a few years from now, yes. I'm just saying there's people who have come through who got help and then they're like, hey, can you help me again? Or someone who got help from a techie on the Discord, and then they had that techie spend, that volunteer person spend half an hour to an hour and a half or whatever helping them out, and then they turn around and just come and ask me again. And it's like, you got help already. There's unfortunately no way for me to validate that without scraping through the Discord and seeing what I can find, but I'd rather not have to do that, and I'd rather just trust you guys that if you have someone give you their time, that y'all will respect that. All right, time to go to Micro Center. That's enough yapping out of me. These are 3 gaming systems. We'll do what we can with these. If you're gonna submit the form, and it's totally fine if you want to submit it and get your name on there, get in the list for later on. But if you're gonna submit the form and it's anything but just gaming, just know that I'm gonna be pretty adamant about waiting until the launch. Because I don't have enough information to make recommendations based on that, but yeah. PC VR, Stream VR, VR Chat, and my MetaQuest 3. Okay. Alrighty then. So with that, not a lot of VR things that you use. There's not a lot of VR things that use ray tracing. I think we can safely go with the high-end AMD Radeon GPU here. And it's going to be very powerful. Plus, some of them will have a USB-C directly on the GPU, which is great for VR. So let's go check that out. And that was a Fairfax, Virginia location. All right. No. There we go. Let's give that a second. Oh, stop with the pop-ups. Is he going to remember dark mode? I doubt it. Yep. There we go. And just double checking here. You want this built by Micro Center. That's why it says pre-built there. And 1440p is the goal. We can do 4K on that budget at Micro Center. You do plan on upgrading your CPU over time. Good, because it's going to be AMD, so you'll be allowed to do that. And you want a black system. Okay. Bundles. 7800X3D. There you go. It's 25 plus in stock with a B650-E tough gaming motherboard, 32 gigs of DDR5 6000, and the 7800X3D for $499. Very nice. Need to hydrate real quick. I feel like I made my contrast a little bit too high there. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Every time I make these fixes, I'm like, there's footage now on the VOD of it looking bad. Oh, well. Okay, so that's already going to save you. Let's see how much it saves. It is like 200 bucks. You save $179.98. Yeah, you're getting a 7800X3D for $225. Good Lord. It's very cheap. I do need a posture check. Thank you. I think I would benefit from lowering my seat a little bit. Let's lower this. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Observer of Thoughts, you're very welcome. And you know what? In the meantime, if you hang out for this, I'm probably doing this PC matchmaking tonight and on Thursday night. Hang out for those, and you'll learn some extra stuff to prepare yourself for it. Plus, I've got a lot of content on the channel that's just talking about different system integrators and going over some stuff you need to know and all of that. But a lot of the deals that I have there are going to be, they're expired. You know, they're not, it's not evergreen content, that's for sure, unfortunately. That's what the new series is supposed to be for. That's going to be evergreen content for you. Okay. So we're going to go with a big, chonky 7900 XTX. Do they have the reference version that has USB-C? Well, let's see. If I click AMD, it's probably going to say 0. Oh, they got... No, these are all just the professional ones. Yeah, all right, guys. So it's not going to have USB Type-C on the thing itself, but you can still connect USB Type-C to your motherboard, and you'll get your connection. So we have the new Mercury magnetic one. This is a really sick card right here. If ever a fan goes out, they're very easy to replace, and it looks really nice. And they got 5 of those in stock, and the price is good. Because some of these you can see get up to over $1,100. At that point, yeah. But let's get a better look at this one. It's the AMD aesthetic for one thing, with the black and red. It's definitely got AMD looks to it. But the cool thing is, yeah, these fans are easily replaceable if one of them ever goes out. That's part of the design of this new card from XFX, and I think it looks absolutely sick. So how do you feel about this one? This what you want? It's going to add some color to there, but yeah. DJ Fifth Light, is 3090 still worth it? How are you going to ask that question without a price? If it's $1,000, absolutely not. No, it's not. A 4080 Super will outperform a 3090 with much room to spare. If it's $400, maybe. If you need the VRAM, for sure. If it's $500, yeah. I mean, maybe, if you need the VRAM. But do you need the VRAM? Are you doing things that require a lot of VRAM? You like this card? Heck yeah, there we go. Why are you leaving the builder today? I'm still on your website. God, man. I feel like I'm dealing with an irrational person here, not a website. Why are you leaving? It's like, I'm still talking to you. I'm not leaving. Okay, and look at that. We have the most expensive components done, and we still have $1,000 to build the rest of the PC. Well, not 1,000, because I'll ask you this, Crypto Knight, did you include the build fee in your budget? With an all-in-one liquid cooler, the build fee goes from $150 to $250. So I need to know whether I need to keep that out of the budget, or whether whether you're not considering it part of the budget. If you want $2,500 just for the parts, and then build fees are separate. All right, let's get you a nice sized SSD. You don't need a 4 terabyte or anything for this. 2 terabytes should do the job. And Inland Performance plus 2 terabyte. Bam, 129. We can get I don't know if it has 5th gen PCIe Gen 5 on the motherboard, but you could go with that if you wanted to. Build fee is separate. Heck yeah, there you go. Never tried PC Part Picker. Put in the build. It's still the same price a year later. Did pretty well. Good. Glad to hear it, Robert. What's up, Void? How's it going? PC Builder is giving off that clingy girlfriend when you just want to go to the bathroom vibe. Can I go with you? No! We're not there yet. And even if you don't need... Why would you go in there if you don't need to? Yeah, pretty much. I'm still in the house. I'm not leaving. Yeah, that kind of thing. All right, now, Crypto Knight, let's figure out your case. So in order to figure that out, I'm going to need feedback from you, but you've been very responsive, and I appreciate that. So what we need for that is the aesthetic that you like. Do you like, I mean, it's going to look cool either way, but do you want to have like your standard sort of front mesh, intake, top and rear exhaust kind of look? Or do you want to go with the glass front, glass side, still going to have good airflow, but more of a display kind of thing? You want to see it. You want a lot of RGB. Do you not want RGB? Give me some specs here. Give me some opinions here. What are you looking for? I mean, if you're a lawyer and this is going to your law office, we can go with a Fractal North, and then you have a nice black PC with wood paneling on the front. You could totally do that and hide it as a gaming PC. There you go. Thank you for that showing me the website. Of course. It's awesome. It's got its flaws. PC Part Picker has a few things about it that I nitpick now and then, but other than that, it's much better for putting stuff together than the Micro Center one because it has a better compatibility filter. The compatibility filter on Micro Center's builder is a nightmare. You can't change the motherboard. ASUS sounds pretty bad right now from what I've heard. AV2, I would venture to say that after the attention they got from
now the main
Gamers
problem
Nexus,
area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort.
Sorry for the discomfort, Mark, but I appreciate the paps. Thank you. Thank you, Gary. So yeah, what kind of aesthetic are you thinking? Standard look, not really crazy about RGB, but I can live with it. Oh, okay. Well, what if you don't have to? I mean, I built the Corsair system and it had not one bit of RGB in it, and it's sick, you know? But that definitely means no King 95, and we're going for a standard look as well. Landcool 216, I think, would be just a ticket. This thing, I think, has 0 RGB in it. Yep, those are not. Wait, no, they are RGB fans. They're just not on. No, what? Okay, let's see what it says in the specs. Included fans. It doesn't say whether they're RGB or not, so I'll just go ahead and say that they're not. But if they do turn on with some, if they do plug them in and they turn on with some lights, you can always turn it off. But it's a good case, regardless. 4.7 out of 5 stars out of 44 reviews is pretty dang nice. That's good. It's not, I mean, if you saw that on Amazon, where a lot more traffic goes through there, that's not enough reviews to really trust that number. But at Micro Center, it generally is. Half XB Evo. I don't think, man, it's been, I don't know when the last time I built in a Cooler Master case was. They were supposed to send me a pre-built for review, and they never did. Luke Marshall, how's it going? Welcome. It might have been, maybe it's an Intel system, and maybe they held off because of that. Save money, no RGB. Your wife will thank you later. I don't know. There's plenty of ladies who like RGB, so I wouldn't say that it's one way or the other on that, but sure. Brady Mark just roast you. I don't care. Markiplier touched my face. That was great. Would recommend. I like the placement of it. That's great. It's like a new. I might have moved it to be closer to my face cam. I don't know. RGB is really subjective. Yeah, you never know. Good. Love your videos. Thank you. Okay, so we're going 7800X 3D and 7900X TX. So let's go with at least 1,000 on the power supply, 1,000 watts on the power supply. Because believe it or not, I mean, you know, AMD is pretty great with efficiency on their CPUs, especially with some of the eco modes you can choose, things like that. But they're not super efficient on their graphics cards, unfortunately. Is that the new 1200 watt, the new C1200? That is a good power supply. I've built with that. It's very good, actually. Well, let's see what other options we got. Let me take off this. Oh, here we go. Seasonic Focus V3 GX 1000. Yep, that's the one. There we go. we're going to go with Lee and Lee for the cooler. I think they have one without RGB fans. So that'd be the one to go with. Lee and Lee. They don't have it here. Okay. Well, let's see what the other ones are then. There's the NZXT Kraken that has it has a screen on it, but this is not the really expensive one that has a fancy screen on it. It just has a basic one and it has non-RGB fans. That's a good cooler right there. Let's just look at all of them. All of them. Oh, the Pro Art. That's a really sick one. It doesn't fit in the case, though. That's the Elite. That's the one I was talking about. That's not what we want. There's the Be Quiet Pure Loop 2. That's a very good one. Reunion 3 is extremely expensive. They got the thick Q60. Nice. That, though, has a very large screen on it. Not what you're looking for. All right. Kraken 360. There we go. It's okay if the fans don't match. You're not going to see them. They're not RGB. And that helps to sort of hide them. They're going to be facing down because it's going to be mounted on the top of the case. Okay. What else we got? I mean... So here's one thing that I would say, all right? And I always say this for these builds, okay? If you go to select your operating system, because you do need one for your build, right? You'll notice that these are anywhere from $120 to $200. My suggestion, you can actually tell Micro Center, hey, please install Windows 11 Home, but don't activate it. And then you can get, from my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals, you can get a license for that Windows 11 Home for like $20, not 120, or what is it for the other home version here? 140, no, about $20 using my code BRAY25, which is also listed. Basically, if you go to a recent SI Weekly video, look in the description, all the info's there. That's all you got to do. But you still have enough to where you can select same-day Pro Assembly within the budget rather than saying it's separate, and the 2-year system protection, and you'll be $50 over. Look at that. Add another $30 to that, and you get 3 years system protection, which I would definitely recommend. So we can consider it that way, or I can upgrade your storage. We can't change out the motherboard, really, without losing out quite a bit on there. We can actually. You should keep the rest of the bundle pricing if we change the motherboard. But I can add more storage if you want. If you never want to have to add storage, well, at least for a long time anyway, I can make this a 4 terabyte. There's room in the budget for that. Yo, what's going on, Falcon Northwest? How are you doing? Welcome. Hey, I meant to report back to you. Ever since the BIOS update, I had my stream crash twice in a row on a Thursday and then on the following Sunday. It crashed both times. And now that I did the BIOS update, I have not had any stream crashes, and I haven't had any videos I've exported so far that froze. So far, so good. We might be in the clear, and of course, we know there's a microcode update coming out mid-August, but we should be good right now. You'll be happy to know. What gaming PC would you recommend for a first-time beginner? Luke Marshall, please check the description of the YouTube stream and click the link right there, because that question you asked me only told me that you want a PC and that you've never had one before. It didn't tell me any of the other information I need in order to make a good recommendation to you, okay? Because I mean, you know what? Right there, Falcon Northwest, go get one of those. I don't know your budget or your needs, so go for it. Everyone with 13, 14 gen should update the BIOSes now. Don't wait. Absolutely. I 100% agree. I like the way it is. Thank you. You got it. Sure. Let me send you the... Oh, here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the 3-year system protection on there. You don't have to, but you can remove that. I'm going to go ahead and copy this and give you that link. What I need you to do, Crypto Knight, is I need you to click that link and then go here to the save section here and save this build. It's going to have you create a Micro Center account if you didn't already have one. And that way you have the build. Because if I do any other Micro Center builds tonight, this one's getting deleted. Okay? You know, Falcon Northwest, funny thing, and it feels weird calling it that, for your name, but still, funny thing. There are certain montages that I've done that I go back to, and the intro one, and then the CPU upgrading one I did for the video I did for you guys. That one, or with you guys, or whatever you want, however you want to say that. That's one I go back to often. I don't know what it is. It's just got a cool vibe to it. I like it. Did you ever end up using that quote anywhere? I know you said you wanted to. All right, little Shifty. Your time has come. Jazz hands. Micro Center lets you change the MOBO and memory on their bundles according to Greg Salazar's video today. You just have to pay the difference. I think that Asus one's fine. And what I was here's what I was saying. I can't believe I forgot what I was saying. Because someone said, hey, you know, Asus, right? Isn't that bad? No, because of the attention they're getting, Asus is making really solid changes they committed to. At this point, they now have accountability. They need to make the changes that they said they were going to make instead of the vague, like, we seek to do the better for our customers. No. They got nailed to the wall at Computex when they met with Steve. And he did a great job at that. Like, it was not comfortable. It's not a comfortable video to watch. But it's like he was prepared for the sidestepping they were going to try to do, because it's their job to sort of like mitigate issues and not cost the company a ton of money making changes and stuff, but they needed to do it. It had gone too far. So I believe that anyone who's got Asus right now is going to be a little better off, because other companies haven't been held quite as accountable as that. Like, he really got him. Kind of like how Newegg has, I feel Newegg has been better to buy from since Gamers Nexus did that. Look, I'm not going to be here and claim tech journalist this, tech journalist that. I'm here to help out newbies and also to talk about computers and have a good time, right? I'll leave that to Gamers Nexus. They've been, you know, they're on the job. You know, they do a great job at that. Sometimes not as much as I would like, but with certain situations, I mean, it's just, if you want to say, you know, throw the journalism word out there, there's some things that they might have said here and there that fly in the face of that, but nobody's perfect. All right. Little Shifty, hope you're ready. You're ready. Cool. People on 12th gen right now? Absolutely. What's up, Binary Theory? Hope you're doing well. Parts list saved. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated. You got it. This is what I do. John says, Gamers Nexus is a channel. I've been a member of the channel for a long time. Absolutely. I remember reading Gamers Nexus when it was just a website with some videos that they'd put up. And now they're one of the most influential tech YouTube channels in the PC space, period. If not the most influential one. It's pretty crazy because they're not like in the tens of millions of subscribers. They don't need to be. I felt comfortable buying the Ally X since I know Asus is afraid of messing up. That's the thing. They're on their best behavior. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. So our budget is listed as less than 1,000. Okay, Lil Shifty, can you tell me what the actual budget is for the system? What's your maximum budget? No changing it later, please. What is your max on that? Okay, $1,000. All right. Okay, within a month, and you want to get it within a month. Okay. Well, there's a couple options I generally look at when it's around this. I'm going to go ahead and you put I don't know for the resolution. I'm going to tell you at around $1,000 for a pre-built, you're going to want to stick with 1080p for your monitor, okay? That's where you're going to get the most solid performance. So let's look at a couple options in that range. Nope. I'm just checking something here. Yes, you do want to be able to upgrade your CPU in the future. That's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. At that budget, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, that's well above budget, unfortunately. It's a good deal, but quite a bit above. That's a 4060. This is guys. Why don't you have more AMD GPUs? Like you could do much better than that. This one, Ryzen 7 5700 plus an RX 7600. That's going to pretty much do your 1080p gaming and then some. Yes, but let's check out Skytech. They're going to have a lot of options in this price range, especially with their clearance systems. I do feel like certain SIs excel in certain price ranges, and I mean very specific ones, where they just tend to focus, and like that's their thing. Sort by price, high, low to high. We're going to do that first because it resets everything. Carrie Holzman's, yeah, I think hasn't. Hold on a second. Didn't Carrie Holzman come through the stream once? I feel like Carrie came through the stream once. I haven't met them in person, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I have, but I believe they came through the stream a while back. I don't know. Anyway, let's see what we got. So it looks like there's going to be an option in here that has a Ryzen 5 7600X. That's going to be, if you want to be able to upgrade your CPU with new CPUs that come out down the line, it's got to be Ryzen 7000 series, right? But this is going to be, I haven't limited the budget yet. So yeah, this is above budget. Although free shipping helps. 7600 and a 4060, 7600 and a Radeon 7600, 7600X and a 7600. That's probably what I would go with there, but it's $1149. That would come out to like $1,000 or $1,100, but that still is above budget. So let's go ahead and knock that down to there and see what comes up. Oh, they don't have anything. Whoa, what happened? Oh, nothing with that CPU. That's my bad. That's my bad. Okay, so we won't limit it to that CPU. That's okay. Kevin, please take a look at the description of the stream, and that's where you're going to want to go for that. There's a link right there if you're looking for help to get in line, because other people are also waiting for help. I'm just not liking any of the options I'm seeing, so we're going to probably... Well, let me do that without... It's just really hard to find any Ryzen 7000 series systems that are pre-built for under $1,000. Even though that's possible DIY, because you're not paying for the service of getting it built for you and shipping and all that stuff, because you usually get free shipping on parts and stuff. Even though it's potentially possible there, doesn't necessarily mean that you can get it pre-built that way, because of the extra expense of being a pre-built company and having to pay overhead. Yo, what's up, Phoenix PC? How's it going? Finally caught a stream. An upgradable platform on a pre-built for under $1,000. Yeah, but it's possible going DIY. Totally possible. You know what? I haven't looked at, let me look at Phoenix PCs here, since they're in the chat. Where do I have you guys hired up? Here we go. Okay, so the Harpy is starting at $999. It's probably not going to be exactly what we're looking for here, because the pre-configured one is a 12100F. Now, to be clear, that is upgradable. This thing, especially once the microcode has been updated, you could go to a 14500 if you wanted to, or a 14400F, something like that down the line. And that would be a sizable upgrade in IPC and performance in general, and cores, because you're going from 4 cores here to 10 cores on the 14400F. What's up, Corrogers? How are you? I was holding off on saying what's up because I knew an ad was running. Let's see. So what did you say for your color? Let's give this a shot. So if we go here, pick black. Okay, so there's no AMD options here. So that's going to be upgradable on these within Intel only. And to say if you were to go for 14400 here, it's going to raise up to 1179. This does, though, let me see, an RX 6600 on the GPU. Okay. But still, there's a lot of like tweaking that you can do to it. But because the budget is at $1,000, I do have a coupon code, but there's not going to be any real... there's one under this, though, isn't there? Or is that that's the entry point, is the Harpy? Okay, that's the Harpy. I mean, this is a good system, though. What's up, Jay Green? How you doing? How's it going over there, Phoenix PCs? How y'all doing? Man, it's so... I will say this. It's really nice to see a mini PC that's not starting out at like $2,000. You guys did good work there. But yeah, you could even set this up with DDR5. But basically, it goes up from here, is what you're going to be seeing there. Had to revert back to an old Harpy because of some happenings in the tech world. I do understand that. I can understand that completely. Generally, the safe thing to do now is to, and honestly, like they said during the production of 13th gen, they addressed the oxidization issue, I should say. But essentially, there were some 13th gen processors that went out with some oxidization. And CPUs are manufactured in such a controlled environment. If anything slips, you have a major problem. And we're talking about thousands and tens of thousands of CPUs out there, potentially. 14th gen, according to them, had no such problem. It's just a microcode issue that they're fixing mid-month, in mid-August. They're sending out the fix for that mid-August. So you can safely, at that point, potentially, you'll be able to be like, yeah, 14th gen, fine. But a lot of that Intel stuff is going to be going out. Phoenix PC, if I'm not mistaken, you guys don't keep a bunch of like inventory, right? And if that's the case, that's a good thing, because of course You're going to have a new platform for Intel coming out. You're going to have AMD's 9000 series coming out, and that's going to shake things up a lot. But yeah, you know, this industry, it's so hard to stay ahead of it. It's so hard to stay ahead of the game. And it's very easy as a system integrator to get caught holding the bag when new stuff comes out if you have a large inventory of stuff. What was here on? So these would come out to under 1,000, but it's all 5,000 series Ryzen. So essentially, there's not really going to be anything that's going to match your requirement there. See, here's the 13th gen Intel, the 13400F, and I can't recommend that. I can't. It could have had oxidization issues. And that's not a guarantee. The majority of them probably don't have that issue. I'm hoping Intel does a mass recall, but the odds of that happening are slim. Somewhere between slim and none. Combat Medic says, my Phoenix PC is running nice. Nothing but good things to say about mine. That's awesome to hear. There you go. And you said that in both chats. I do appreciate that. Going DIY is definitely possible. I mean, I built mine under 900 total with 7500F, 32 gigs, and a used card. The used card thing is going to trip some people up because that can, for someone who's new to all this, that can be really tough to jump into the used market. Aeon, yeah, I know. I thought it was only 13,700 and up. Well, potentially yes, but it could also be that because of the lower power requirements of the other chips, and I mean, if there's a fab issue, there's a fab issue. And because of the lower power requirements, lower frequencies of the lower end chips, they just might not be exhibiting symptoms of it, but it could have it. But they listed them out. It was all 13,700 and higher. Yes. Intel systems are fine with the latest BIOS. Just make sure your SI is using the latest. That's the thing is, Falcon Northwest, Intel did confirm that there was an oxidization issue with 13th gen. But the thing is, what bothered me and Steve apparently was the fact that they never mentioned it. There was zero mention of that issue, that they said they knew about it in 2003 and took care of it in 2003 and told no one. That's sketchy. That's sketchiness of the highest degree. It's indefensible. How can you do that and be like, yeah, you know, but you can buy our other stuff, you'll be fine. How do we know that? And that's what a lot of people are thinking now, and that's why they've lost so much credibility in the market, like in amongst buyers and anyone who pays attention to this stuff, which a lot of people don't. I know. But that was like the worst move they could have made. Like, fix it and then immediately say, this was this issue. We're going to have a recall for all those chips. Let's get this fixed. They did not do that. They did the opposite. And they're like, let's hope nothing happens. It's rough. It's very rough because I directly recommended people 13th gen Intel systems. That doesn't feel good for me. That feels very, very bad for me and probably for them. There's no way I could have ever known that. Doesn't make me feel any better. New systems are fine, as are systems that don't have issues now and with the latest BIOS. If the CPU is badly worn, even after the August microcode, it will need to be replaced, unfortunately. That's true, yes. Yeah, if you've never exhibited any issues with your CPU, you're probably fine. Maybe shut it off till mid-August, but yeah, you're probably fine. No, don't. If it's not exhibiting any issues, you're probably totally okay. I don't know what direction to take this one, Shifty. I would like to upgrade, but I don't really care. I just want a good PC. Okay. Yeah, when you put a certain answer in here, I do follow that. I try to follow that to the letter. So what's the best one that does not have that ability to be upgraded. 14400F and a 4060. I just want to see more AMD GPUs at this price point. Like, why not? 7600 XT right there. Ryzen 7 5700 and a 7600 XT. This is fine, but it's not a black PC, which is what you asked for. So that's unfortunate, but you could rattle can it if you wanted to. 5600X and 4060, 3060 Ti. And what? 5600X. Says this one in black, but it's a downgrade on the GPU from the 7600 XT down to a 7600. I honestly, like, I know I went all over this earlier, but like, I cannot believe, like, I cannot imagine what the mood is over at AMD right now, because they're on a knife's edge. If they pull this off and it's a solid launch, they're going to win a lot of trust in the market, considering the moves that Intel made. Like, whether you're okay now or whether like most people are fine, to me does not matter. That's good, yes. But what matters is how Intel treated the issue and their partners. You know how many industry, like, enterprise customers are like up the creek because of Intel? And Intel did not disclose it. They refused RMAs, knowing that there was an issue. Knowing that there was a known issue, they rejected RMAs from both consumers and enterprise partners. That's bad. That's like, I don't know what to say about that. If you have a PC with an Intel, on the Intel platform with an Intel CPU and it's working, cool. You're probably fine. And that's great. But like, it's shifted my perspective doing this, doing what I do now, to where I'm a lot more aware of those kinds of moves. And though you can expect it from a massive corporation, that doesn't mean you have to excuse it from a massive corporation. They need to be held accountable. I have one friend telling me I need 6,000 RAM. The other says 5,600 will be unnoticeably equal. I'm torn. Doc Illa, I generally go, if it's for Ryzen 7000 series, the sweet spot is 6,000 megatransfers per second, generally speaking. Okay, listen up. Lil Shifty, I'll paint it. I don't care. All right, this is the one I'm going to recommend right here. Okay, you're getting a full terabyte of storage. It's not going to be super fast storage, but this is a budget PC. You're getting a Ryzen 7 5700. You can, later on, if you want to, it won't make a huge difference, but it kind of will as well. There's a 5800X 3D as an option if you can find one. That'd be one upgrade you can make. But really, this platform is at end of life. There's not going to be, okay, I can't say there's not going to be more CPUs for it. Who knows what Intel's going to do? Oh, I was saying about that. Over at AMD right now, they must be sweating bullets because they have a chance for greatness, right? But like, they could win a lot of trust, a lot of new loyal customers in the industry. But if they flub the launch and there are big issues with 9000 series Ryzen, everyone's ready to hate right now because of Intel. So it's like, which one are we going to get? That's why they delayed it, I think. It needs to go off without a hitch. And I can appreciate that. Like, I get that. That's a lot of pressure. The kind of pressure I have never experienced. Nothing like that. But yeah, this is what I would recommend right here. And it's not actually going to be over your budget. It's 1,019 right here. You told me your budget's 1,000, but check this out. We got a little something for that. Not every SI does this, but we do have for every SI that does do it, we usually will have a discount code if they've sort of built trust within the community, shown that they support after the sale, all that kind of stuff. So here we're going to have code SWARM, and it's going to add an additional discount over the already discounted price, which is nice. SWARM, bam. right there. So from shipping is free, and then from 1,019 it goes down to $989.39 plus tax. There you go. All right. Anyway, I'm not trying, like with all the Intel stuff, I'm not trying to make it worse. But I can't just like hide stuff like that either. It bears talking about because I want people who are just entering this sort of this hobby and things like that to start being aware of those kinds of moves from companies, especially because a lot of people feel like they want to be loyal to one brand or another. Why? Their job is to make money for their shareholders. That's the only real responsibility they've got in their eyes, and it is a true responsibility. It is legitimately something they have to do. But other things can kind of get crushed under that, unfortunately, and that could be their customer base or their enterprise partners, things like that. But I just want y'all to be aware of this kind of stuff when it happens, you know? So all you got to do, little shifty, is here's your link right here. Angry Beaver, yes, investors, but like we wouldn't have most of the products we really like without that facet of capitalism, unfortunately. That's what's going on. That's how everything works. That's where we are. I mean, you look at a company like Nvidia. They've made some pretty crap moves. Okay? No one can deny that. Also, though, and they could have looked really good for their shareholders had they, during the pandemic, laid off thousands of people, or however many people they felt like laying off. They took a stand, and they were like, no, we're not laying off a single person. We're going to raise our prices instead. Well, whatever. Still, they didn't fire anybody. They're not one person during all that. And Nvidia could probably do with, like, they have some people there who are so like tenured there. They're like millionaires now. Observer thoughts. Thank you for the 100 biddies. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. That font doesn't show up very well, does it? On a light website, but thank you. Rather than thinking too hard on getting AM5 platform, how about considering upgrades on other parts of the PC? Airflow case, high watt PSU. Well, yeah, it has a high airflow case already. The wattage of the PSU is fine for that 7600 XT. But let's see, what was it on the power supply? Power supply 650 watts. That should support, we'll see what the power requirements are next gen, but we can't change anything here. This is a pre-configured system. That's why the price is dirt cheap on this for pre-built of these specs. It's good. It's a good deal. It's already like $80 off, and then you get an additional, like, what was that, $50 off with my code, $40 off with my code. You know, in this price range, you're doing pretty good. Making the customer the financier is what it should be. Be beholden to the people buying and using your stuff, not the idiots who only care about making cash and most likely never use the products. Their funding, capitalism shouldn't be an excuse to be a tool. Just my hot take of the night. Honestly, like, I know people who work at Intel, and they're awesome people. They're very good people. This is like one department, and it's the same thing with ASUS. It's the same thing I said in the intro for my ASUS Computex video, that the people I was going to be talking to there, they don't handle RMAs. They have nothing to do with any of that. And that I wouldn't, my recommendation of anything I covered in the following video will be contingent upon their RMA department and leadership making important changes, and they're apparently doing that. But aside from that, let's talk about cool stuff, because as these issues are happening, there's still people in the background making cool stuff and being super excited about it, and stuff that you might be excited about. Are you going to buy it? Well, if they continue to be jerks, you probably shouldn't. But, It's whatever. With AMD releasing EPIC chips for AM5, I would really like to see a review of a build with those chips. That would be cool. I honestly need to look into that more because it really is blurring the line between enterprise and consumer, right? Because you could just use a consumer motherboard with that, right? Or I understand. I need to watch some Wendell videos. Need some level 1 tech goodness, I should say. Love your views on things, man. Thank you. I mean, though I do get outraged sometimes, I try to temper it. I rant, I get it out of my system, I feel better, you know. But really, I don't like it when a massive company that has different departments that like rarely interact with each other. That's just the reality of it. You like say ASUS is a global company. They're a global power in tech. I don't like it when people who have nothing to do with that from the same company get crap. And they're just trying to show up for work, do a good job, be excited about their job, be happy at their job, you know? And I see that happen. And I'm like, that ain't it. That take ain't it, you know? Like, hold the actual people accountable that are accountable. Yes, not other people who have nothing to do with that. Heard about the Intel and Asus issue from Jay a few days ago on his channel. Yeah, I mean, keep up with stuff like that. It's good. Next person's going to be Mark Mieta. Did I already move this over here? Yes. And guys, I'm not the last word on this. I could be wrong. Just understand that. I sometimes don't think in terms of, hey, the stuff you say might affect the way people react to stuff like that. And we have a responsibility as content creators to not fuel unnecessary outrage, okay? The outrage pony, as they call it at PC World, as Gordon calls it. We don't want to fuel that. We want to hold companies accountable, but he goes right now, it's really easy for things like social media to get way out of hand. You know, we don't need that. We need to just say hey, don't do that to your customers. Bad, massive corporation, and freaking move on. Make sure to keep an eye on them. They do what they're supposed to do and move on. Mark, are you still here? Or did I yap you out of chat? What's up, Braden? How you doing? I see you submitted a form. Doc says I missed 10 or so minutes. Did you happen to speak on 6,000 first? Yeah. Wait, were you asking about it? It was someone asked about it and I answered that. Yeah. Yeah, guys, don't do that. If you're going to ask a question, stick around because I did answer that. You're cool, Doc, but that's you know how interactive I try to be with chat. I miss stuff, I do, but I try not to get too far behind on that. Mark Mieta, are you here? You are here? Good. Okay. All right, this is easy because I covered. Oh, dang it! It's a white system you want. Okay, never mind. We'll look around then. I will say, iBuyPower needs to up their game on the white builds on their ready systems. They don't have any. Oh, I need to raise this. Yeah, what? Oh, it's loading. Yeah, no white systems here. Nope. All right. That is a good looking system though. Anyways, okay. Phoenix PCs, do you guys have a 7800X 3D system? I hope so. I mean, that's kind of the meta right now for gaming PCs. Be under the siren. White, Windows, AMD. Not a 7800X 3D. Okay. Would it be the one above that? And the Griffin? That starts too high though. But it makes sense for 7800X 3D though. I mean, it is, you know, pretty pricey processor in particular. Yeah, Paradox, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Man, so many SIs showing up tonight. How's it going? It's been a minute. The Griffin. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, okay, let me ask you this, Mark. You listed your budget at $1,500. However, on the forum, you know, you'll notice that it goes in increments of 500, right? So what is your actual full, all caps, underlined, in bold, maximum budget? Is it at 1,500? If that's the case, that's fine. Or is it 1,750? What would that max budget be? Arpit, I gotta message you because we were working on something. And then Computex happened and it fell by the wayside. So we got stuff coming out, right? With on the 15th next month. So it's maybe a little late for it, but anyways, let's chat soon. I'll rewind. Nature called. Oh, you're good. 1,800's the max. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, there was one system that was, let's see. Okay. When I did my 7800X 3D video, there was one that was like $1,500, but it was not a white PC. But it was a heck of a deal. Like a heck of a deal. In a really nice case too. It was the King 95, I believe, and I really like the King 95. I still haven't reviewed a PC in the King 95, unfortunately, or built in one. Montech, hook it up. I want to check it out. Wait, there's no 70. Yes, there we go. Bam. It was just that one hiding. Skytech, why are you hiding? There it is, $1,579. They don't have any white PCs with the 7800X 3D in this price range, unfortunately. JD, please check the description if you're asking for help. Fill out the form because we need a little more info than just what game you want to play in order to make. There's thousands of options out there. So. Okay, I can't read all that right now in the middle of helping somebody, but yeah, let's go to the GPU comparison chart. And we're going to look at 1440p, correct? Yes, 1440p. Ultra. Let's check the 7800 XT versus the 4070 Super. Okay. So the 4070 Super does beat the 7800 XT, and if you turn on ray tracing, that is going to continue. It is going to do even better. So looking at these, you have an option here that is a 7800 X3D and a 4070 Super. The question is this: how important are the aesthetics to you? Do aesthetics come first? Okay, General Mascardo Radio. Please don't spam the same message over and over. That's like speed running getting banned on my channel. I go back and I read, and that's what I do. Something, Chapro. Hope you're doing well. Same here. I hope you're doing good. I saw that you did the I have them right here. You got the Rode wireless mics. That was a good move. I was noticing that. I don't think I said I think I was in chat working on something. I don't think I was active and saying anything, but yeah, 4070 Super, 7800X 3D. Let's see the other specs though. It's just not CPU and GPU that make up a PC, right? So we'll look at that and we'll compare it to this one because this is 1579. This is ridiculous, okay? 7800X 3D and a 7800 XT in a King 95 case, 32 gigs of RAM, all that stuff. 1579 is nuts, all right? So this has to be also very impressive to beat it. There's just certain circumstances where, hey, whatever your budget is, that's your budget. And in that case, sometimes you just need to squeeze out as much performance from that budget as you can, right? Okay, so there's that too. This also has double the storage, 2 terabytes NVMe Gen 4. That's probably a Kingston NB2. It's a good M.2 drive. Though it is DRAMless, the HMB can perform pretty well on that. Not gonna lie, it's very stable as well. Like it gets really consistent performance. Same RAM, same motherboard, very likely. 360mm AIO versus a 360mm AIO. You have a Cougar Airface Pro case instead of the King 95 case. Did you see the Trike's cooler I was working on? Oh my gosh. I need to respond to them. They wanted to send me an AIO too. But I have the video on them, you know, on the channel from Computex. But as I was stacked with emails after that. And it's in there. I know it's in there. Like I saw, like as I was skimming, I was like, oh man, I need to reach back out. But yeah, no, I love that AIO. It's just so sick. Nah, 4070 Super, not even the TI version. 12 gigs VRAM is yikes in that price category? You sure? 12 gigs is fine. Look, here. You're going to see people on forums and Reddit saying like, oh, well, this game uses 14 gigs of VRAM. It's because you have 16 that it will front load as much as it wants. It uses however much you have. There are very few games that will actually tell you, hey, this isn't going to work with your GPU. You don't have enough VRAM. So if you have 12 gigs of VRAM, it's going to be like, well, I can't load everything there. So it just limits what it does. 12 gigs is still pretty good in this day and age. I mean, look, all you need to see is this. Like, look, right here. Right there. Explain this. If 12 gigs isn't enough, the testing that Tom's Hardware does is pretty thorough. And they have all of their, if you go to the actual article, they explain the methodology and everything. So explain this. If it's that cringe to have 12 gigs in 2024, why is it winning? Look at the performance difference between the 4070 and the 4070 Super. It's not even a full step, right? It's just an iterative upgrade. That's a crazy performance difference. I mean, that King 95 looks nice. Yeah, it does. It does. And the difference between 7800 XT and 4070 Super is going to come down to this, because between these two, it's not a massive difference. What is that, like 5 FPS on the average here? If you look at the numbers on the left. So here, how important is ray tracing to you? If ray tracing is a major factor in your gaming, then you should probably go NVIDIA. NVIDIA is on their 3rd gen of hardware accelerated ray tracing, whereas AMD is on their 2nd gen. That makes a difference. There's no getting around that. However, I mean, new NVIDIA stuff's going to be coming out end of the year, stuff like that, and that's not mattering right now. It's not when you're buying. You're not buying then, you're buying now. But what that might mean is even more updates to their DLSS. And unless they pull the same crap they did with 30 series, they might push those back to 40 series. But never buy something based on what a company might do. It's going to come down to like, okay, I'm going to be playing Cyberpunk and I want all the ray tracing. Okay, you probably want to go NVIDIA. It's optimized for that. If you're never going to play anything like that, 7800 XT is more than you need, probably. Just tell them to download more VRAM. There you go, Falcon Northwest. You wouldn't download a car. I would do that, actually. Can I? Roby's build tonight with the trikes was sweet. Ah, man. Should have seen that. I should have watched that. My King 95, awesome. Easy to build in. King 95 only gets difficult when adding SSDs to the swing door. That sounds weird. Yeah. Everybody imagine a King 95 case that comes in electric indigo painted metal. That'd be awesome. I did see, what is the name of that brand? There's a case that has kind of a similar color, but it's like a bit muted. It's not as saturated. Anyway. John Paul Bacon, again, I can't modify these. And if it's an option, it's going to be more expensive. I'll bet if we go in here and we raise the budget, you'll start seeing the 7900 XT as an option at around $2,000. Let's bet. Let's check it out. We'll bring it up to 2200 just to be sure. Not overall performance, it's longevity. Modern games will require more VRAM going forward and offloading it to system RA. Game studios still want people to be able to play their games even on lower end hardware. I mean, you know, CD Projekt Red notwithstanding. But you can play it on a Steam Deck. You can play Cyberpunk on a Steam Deck. There's always going to be something there. Not always, but there's usually going to be something there that's going to account for it. Look at the Steam hardware survey. Okay, it's 3060s. Yeah, those had 12 gigs of VRAM. So, in the future, you're probably going to upgrade your GPU anyway. If it's 5 years in the future where it really starts to become a major issue, that's when you're going to get your 90 series NVIDIA card. Or 70 series, I guess, at that point. Well, remember AV2, it's not just that, okay? It's also double the storage on a Gen 4 drive. And the NVIDIA tax, yes, in general. It's a different case. I don't know if the Cougar Airface is more expensive than the King 95. I have no idea. This has a higher wattage power supply, 850 watts. So that's a plus for this system. I'm not, like, this was my front and center system of the last episode of SI Weekly, the previous one. This was my front and center system because it's a great value. Here's what I'll do, all right? I'll let you decide. Most you can use for FPS games, so ray tracing isn't a big deal for me. Cool, you just saved a few $100s. Awesome. Put it towards a nice monitor or something if you don't already have one, or a nice keyboard, or you know, whatever you want. Okay, so, but there you go, Mark. Enjoy it and good health. Let us know how it turns out. For all of you guys who actually get a PC from these, please show them in our Rigs channel on the Discord, or you know what? Even more importantly, share your experience. Okay, particularly if share your experience. Show what it looks like when you were unpacking it. a couple pictures, share the buying experience, the ownership experience, and especially if you have an issue out of the box and they fix it for you, what was that like? We would love to know. You have a Steam Deck. Did I say Stream Deck earlier or Steam Deck? So I don't have one. No. I never really any purchases I make are going to be for the channel, like gear or things like that, or everything I pay for, like all the assets I have to use, story blocks and your Adobe fees and all the stuff every month that I got to take care of. Really, I end up with not much disposable income, which is why I don't do things like secret shopping and things like that. Well, yeah. So yeah, I told these two, both of y'all, that it would be a good idea to wait because you're doing not just gaming, but content creation, streaming, some graphic design, right? Coding, whatever. Give it 15 days. You'd be fine. So, Braden, it's going to be your turn then. Thank you for filling out the form. Appreciate that. 1500 gaming in white. Well, if you were watching just now, how firm are you on that colorway? Because Renzi Mala, what do you think about NZXT? They make some sick cases and some very reliable AIOs, and not enough of their nice looking motherboards that they actually source from ASRock, but they should make more of them so they can use them for their builds. Underworld King, hey Bray, I've been here before, but it's been a while. A friend of mine is a streamer who's having a problem with FPS massively dropping after upgrading their RAM. Not sure if it's something you can help with, but I'm very computer in depth, so I'm not very computer in depth, so forgive me. Underworld King, when they swapped their RAM, it would have undid any kind of XMP or Expo settings, depending. They probably need to set their RAM to the proper speed in the BIOS, and there are guides on how to do that online. But also, it could be that they didn't get the right spec of RAM that they upgraded. It's hard to say. No, I said enjoy it in good health, Crash. You got it, Luke Marshall. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming in, hanging out. What side are you using for the Tom's chart? I'm using the one I've shared before, which is ZTT Build Help. Zach has very helpfully put together this list of different resources that you have if you're going to be building or buying. Like you have an SSD spreadsheet here that can show you whether the SSD you're interested in has onboard DRAM, things like that. Basically, what level it's at, whether it's kind of entry level or high end or mid range or whatever. The PSU tier list just links you to the PSU Cultist tier list, which is good. Games with built-in benchmarks if you want to test what you got. Average price finder for eBay if you're looking to get maybe some used parts or whatever, if you're trying to do a build and get things on a budget. And yeah, AM4 compatibility is compatibility for the AM4 socket and the GPU comparison chart we were just using. The direct link actually takes you to the Tom's Hardware article. ZTT is goated. I didn't expect his lore being so deep. Zach is amazing. Like, seriously. He's had a couple bad takes in the past, but who hasn't? Like, oh no, he's human? What? No, he's awesome. Like a genuinely nice dude. Also, he and Brett of UFD Tech hang out all the time, and I'm very jealous of both of them in that situation, actually. There's, I don't have another PC tech content creator here that I hang out with. That'd be cool, but I don't. So, whatever. That'd be fun for collabs and things like that. And Rather than ray tracing, I think what we should be excited about is path tracing. And there's no GPU for us to consider if you don't count the 4090, that is. Path tracing is going to take as long to get, it's going to, you know how long it took ray tracing to get to be as sort of prolific as it is? It's going to take that long probably for path tracing too. Although the groundwork has been laid. But yeah. He was actually our very first order, funnily enough. That's awesome, actually. That's really cool. I know also Nerd on a Budget did that too, right? Yeah. My PC does ray tracing. That is scary to hear. That doesn't, I don't think that came out the way you expected that to come out, Crash. I shall now proceed to fear for my life. Here in Canada, Prab Brar. Sorry I didn't see this earlier, by the way, over in YouTube chat. You said, here in Canada, we have very less option in custom gaming PCs. Go with quoted.tech. Quoted.tech. If you join the list, I'll help you set up a system there. They're very cool people over there. There are a couple of options, but I have issues with a couple of them. The one that I have not had any issues with yet is quoted.tech. They're genuinely seem really like, well, of course they're nice. Anyone in Canada is supposed to be nice, right? But no, they don't, like, Jesus. If you go back to where I saw, it was a red flags video. It was like look out for these red flags. There was a thing where this company called, what is it? Extreme PC Canada. And they had different tiers that you had to pay for build quality. Build quality. So you can get like bronze level build quality or spend an extra $100 Canadian, which to be fair is not real money, but still $100 Canadian to get silver build quality. Here's the fun part. It was defaulted to silver build quality. So you were paying an extra $100 Canadian. And it was a drop down, so you wouldn't even know it. And then there was like gold and platinum. And I'm like, if you're professionals, your build quality should be the same from one PC to another. Don't extort your customers just because they want to feel reassured that you did it, you put effort into it. Good Lord. That was like, I was genuinely enraged when I saw this because they had been taking $100 extra from every customer that wouldn't notice that, and you better believe it was going to be quite a few. They took that off very quickly after that video came out, and I'm like, they've never really talked to me, so if they're not going to own up and refund every one of those customers they charge that extra fee to, I don't want to hear it. They need to go back and do that before I will talk to them, period. Bronze quality. We throw in the box and hope it makes it there. Motherboard's on there, probably. I remember that video. Yeah. What should I do since I just got a PC? Well, I've got a video that's how to set up your new PC. It's on the YouTube channel. Falcon Northwest says winner. Who's the winner? Who won? Now I'm curious. Thank you, John Paul Bacon. I appreciate you asking people on the YouTube chat to like. And also, if you're in Twitch stream, I don't have follower only chat on right now, so please drop a follow. Come back sometime. Come chat about PCs with me. Let me know how your build turned out if I helped you buy something. You know, the cable management probably didn't even differ. I mean, yeah, it was. This is the kind of stuff that I look out for, especially. Just like with light gaming PCs and some of the stuff they were doing. And, Apex. Good Lord. Where they have practices that are clearly like, okay, you know what you're doing here. You knew what you were doing when you set that up, when you did that. And I don't trust you now. I can't recommend you now because even if you fix this, You are still the same person running this company, or whoever made those decisions is still there. And as soon as we turn away, oh, is he looking anymore? All right, let's get back to what we were doing, because we were making so much money. Yeah, true nuclear meltdown. Oh, ray tracing wins the must-have features list. Okay. I don't want y'all to like, does it mean you know where I am at all times? I don't get it. Yes? Great. That's good. You technically helped me buy something, Bray. Good. Glad to hear. I mean, there's plenty of people out there who don't come to the streams because the videos are enough, and that's fine. Like, they're not like as worried. They're like, this looks good, I'll buy that. Cool. And if you need more, that's what these streams are for. Okay. But we were doing this. And what I was going to say, Braden, did Braden ever respond, by the way? I don't think so. This wasn't even that long ago they submitted this. I gotta watch it with the cameras. Braxton, thank you for the tier 2 sub at 4 months. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. How do you stream in 2K? Technically, Aeon, it's 4K. But the vertical is 2160. But it's just a setting in the current update of OBS that you can do. And you can also have it just configure everything for you in easy mode. Ray tracing makes all characters in game bald with a beard. Sounds beautiful. I don't think Braden Sailor. Okay, I gotta say, okay. Anything that has to do with doxing and stuff like that, I'm not really gonna find that funny. You know, like, I've got a kid. We like our privacy. I don't use my real name, all that stuff. It's not the funniest thing to me. A little bit of anxiety there with that. So. But yeah, man, that Extreme PC Canada video. If you want to see me just, well, there are several videos now where I'm just like living. Just now, that's why I want to avoid at all costs any claims of like pure journalism. No. We're gonna get straight up editorial up in here. Or just whatever. Put me on a soapbox. Like, there's certain times where I'm just like, I can't believe you and the things you're doing, and I'm really upset right now. And I'm just, it's not in this tone. That's for sure. Love this platform. Learned so much. Thanks for all your help, Braxton. Absolutely. Happy to. And thank you for the support. Old Navy humor. Yeah, that's okay. Ray tracing shades everything slightly purple. Falcon Northwest. That I can get behind. Not everything purple, but most things. The important stuff. The things you want to look good. Turns every room to look like this. You have to be partner to stream at 1440? I don't know. I honestly don't have enough knowledge to tell you that. It's supposed to, now what it's, and actually, if you get the latest version of OBS and under quality, you just have it set it up for you. There's guides on how to do that. It's very, very easy to do. That means that you're locally going to be encoding all of your different versions, all your different resolutions locally and setting those up. So you need good upstream, you need good upload, okay? And but that means that you don't have to wait for you don't have to get transcoding from Twitch, which that is, if you're a partner, you generally get it. If you're not a partner but you're an affiliate, you might get it, you might not. And that's where you'll see you can click the quality and change the resolution. That's transcoding. That's where it takes your stream resolution and then downsamples it to, like, the other, encodes it to other resolutions. What is the cross between Bray and a sheep? BRAM. But what's B, like if it was VRAM, that's a term. DRAM is a term. So I guess BRAM. Okay. All right. You got it. You got it. Falcon Northwest. Recommend falcons to everyone. You got it. Guys, you should all get a pet falcon. They're probably safe. You're at 2160p. That's a first for me in Twitch that I know of. Birds of Prey for the win. Yeah, and no, it is recent updates. Yes, and it should work for both AMD and NVIDIA GPUs as long as you have any RTX card should be able to do it. If it says RTX, I think so. But also any 6000 or 7000 series Radeon card should be able to do it. If it's like a 6500, maybe don't try it, but still. I mean, these cards have dedicated chips for encoding. So it shouldn't even affect really your gaming experience. That's really what the whole NVENC thing was about. Having having that separate encoding chip that is really robust and reliable, and then you have your gaming performance be separate. It's been nice for a long time, but thanks to these updates, AMD's catching up. If Braden is not answering, I think, unless someone else wants to chime in that they're here and they want help now, they're not going to wait for the newest AMD CPUs. Chime in. Let me know you're on the list. You have to let me know. I'm not just going to know automatically that you're on the list. I'm here. Let's go. Let me check something real quick. Grumpfat says, thoughts on iBuyPower. How many videos have I made on iBuyPower? Now I'm curious. Content. Search across your channel, iBuyPower. Show all. 71 videos. iBuyPower has been in 71 of my videos. So I've shared my thoughts on that. Buy direct from iBuyPower. They have some of the best customer support in the industry, and that's been displayed many times. It's in it's in our Discord in the SI testimonials group of channels. You can see it there. People will tell their stories, share their experiences. And if you watch the latest series from the latest Secret Shopper series from LTT and watch the customer service or tech support video from that, iBuyPower wiped the floor with every other company. It was not close. Their customer service reps, there were 2 of them, because they were like, that was so fast and so good, we're going to do a different problem. And they handled it just as fast with a different rep, meaning it's not just one really good guy there. It's their training, it's their hiring, it's the way they support their support techs. It is really, it's something not to make any other SI feel bad. It's like, no, look at that and like be like, okay, that's cool. I want to aspire to that. Like, we want to aspire to that here, and do that. And I'm going to be like, hyping you up just as much, because seeing that, and that I have 71 videos on their stuff, that I've reviewed their PCs and said, this is good, that I've talked about them so much, and that they back up they back up their customers after the sale so well, is like, it feels really good for me. I feel that I made a good recommendation there. Yeah, I have a tour of iBuyPower, yes. Oh, there's an ad break right there. Yes. Jay Green, went with iBuyPower mainly due to your videos. Discount code was nice too. Yeah, it's funny because they were the first SI to ever reach out to me. And They were one of the last to get a discount code with me. That up to now, up to this point anyway. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It took 2.5 years to get a discount code going with them. Yes, upcoming AMD CPU are likely going to be top tier in production. Don't know about gaming yet. Rurutu, gaming is probably still going to go to the 7800X 3D. I'm thinking it is so focused on that. It's such a good CPU for that. But once they come out with the 3D V-Cache 9000 series, that'll probably take the cake there. Same thing happened with 5000 series to 7000. The 5800X 3D was beating everything. Even with 7000 series out and 13th gen out, you know, or was it 12th gen? Whatever it was, the 5800X was still beating everything. It was crazy, especially for the price, until the 7800X 3D came out. That's what's going to happen with the 9800X 3D pretty much. It's going to be the next top dog in gaming. But for focused... Yo, Grumpfat, thank you for the 100 biddies. Appreciate your feedback. Now can we compare to CyberPower? Ha ha! It is opposite, apparently. They have some of the worst customer service. And I'm not happy to say that. I was funny because that's like after iBuyPower, because everyone sees iBuyPower and CyberPower. Well, it's probably similar. Oh, no. No, CyberPower has other priorities, apparently. And they need to switch that around. They need to completely renovate their customer service. They need to stop having PCs on their site that have one stick of RAM, because I stopped looking at CyberPower PC in my videos, because I'm not going to even accidentally have someone go and buy from them and have to experience that if they ever have an issue. If you never have an issue, you're probably okay. Their pricing is good. Their build quality is probably okay. You know, they're a big company, and if they were just getting RMAs left and right, they wouldn't have survived. But you have to have good support. Like, you gotta, like, it's a lot of money for anybody to spend. Support your customers. You owe that to them. CyberPower is in 21 of my videos, and not any recent ones. The last one they were in was in December 19th, 2022. That's when I started getting whispers about them having not great customer service. And I was like, all right, let's let them work that out. And they still have not. Same video from Linus Tech Tips. Watch the CyberPower PC segment. But yeah, Crash, there was an ad break after you asked whether I've had a tour of iBuyPower. Yes, there's a tour of iBuyPower on my channel, on my YouTube channel. Unbiased, of course. Now, here's the thing. If someone from CyberPower were to see that, they'd be like, wow, he hates us. That's not fair. I don't, actually. It doesn't make a difference to me. In my coverage and stuff, the fact that you guys haven't reached out and talked to me. The only pre-built focused content creator that you're just like, nah, we're good. Okay, every other SI talks to me, but well, most do. You guys don't? All right. Whatever. That's coverage they could be going for. But the thing is, if they did, I would have to talk about their customer service during any review. Doesn't matter how good your PCs are. PCs are PCs, and PCs fail. I'm going to thank Jerry Rig Everything for that one. They don't always fail, but they can. It's still running Windows, and Windows can be temperamental. And it's still a thing that has electricity running through it. It can have problems. If you sell the thing, you must support the thing. So what I want is for CyberPower to do better. I want them to improve their customer service in a tangible way with accountability. They can contact me and I will cover it. How they're fixing things, what efforts they're making. How much goodwill would that generate towards all those thousands of customers who have bought from them? Now, Crash, I'm not going to say, I'm actually, like, seriously, iBuyPower, I saw a system this is why I tell you, buy directly from iBuyPower, okay? Because they have a system on an end cap at Best Buy, my local Best Buy, that has one stick of RAM in it. I took a picture. I was like, how are you? What? Why are you doing this? You know that that's not good. So they're not perfect. And they're not the only ones that do that. But on their site, pretty much every system you see there is going to be dual channel RAM. When you're selling through a third-party vendor, there are compromises you have to make in order to still make profit. Yo, Dirt Shooter, thank you for the tier 1 gifted sub. I appreciate that. That's a tier 1 sub for the Civil Bandit. Thank you. Grumpfet, I don't want to monopolize your time, but very curious on your thoughts on this PC out the door. Okay. You can't post links in chat, Grumpfet, unfortunately, because of spammers and things like that. I just have to do a blanket rule where there's no links in chat. But for that, you just fill out the form, and then that's not monopolizing my time. That's literally the purpose of the stream. Usually it's not where you have a PC already in mind, but I can look at what you've got there. At $2,500 though, I'm probably going to tell you, hey, wait until, if it's that high of a budget, hold off until Ryzen 9000 series. But if it's just for gaming, which you didn't really mention what your use case is, if it's just gaming, then sure, 7800X3D is still going to be valid for a really long time, so that's fine. Don't forget to drink some water. Talking a lot can get your throat bone dry. Yeah, I know. I avoided Cyberpower thanks to your videos. Boy, don't tell them that. They might take me seriously then. Don't worry. I don't actually worry about that. If I want validation, I can literally reach out to any of the many SIs that actually talk to me and be like, hey, what's going on over there? Like, this review says, or whatever. I don't need validation from one company that doesn't want to talk to me. That's not what I'm looking for here. They have a lot of customers. They need to improve. I'd like to help. That's presumptuous. Oh my God, that's very presumptuous. But I'm also in a unique position that no other tech content creator is, where this is what I do. Ghost Boner, what's up, Ghost Boner? How's it going? Got my new PC with a 14700F and 4070 32 gig RAM for around 1600. Was my birthday gift to myself. Very cool. Went around. Okay, so Ghost Boner, you probably need to update your BIOS. Okay, do that. Please do that, because that CPU is on the list of CPUs that, because of the current microcode, could become damaged, and you don't come back from that. So please update your BIOS. You just got to see what motherboard you have, look for the BIOS on that motherboard manufacturer's website, and install it. There's guides online on how to do this all over the place. Man, I'm getting might as well be like, I think I strained my rotator cuff, patting myself on the back so hard there. Sorry about that. But yeah, Jasmine, you do it very well. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's hard to say whether I do this well. Who are we comparing me to? If someone else starts doing this and does it better, I'll improve. I'll get better. But I'm kind of running for mayor unopposed here. Laughs in 12700F, then cries a bit because it's a 12700F. Does it work, Deathly Nightshade? You ain't got nothing to cry about. You're good. Ran over to SkyTech because of your videos, but you already knew that break. I did actually know that, yes. If you have a beard, get a wood brush, by the way. It's the best. A wood comb, I should say. Wood comb. Thanks, I wasn't aware of the rules. My fault. No problem, Grumpfat. You're good. No problem. It's really more of a thing that helps you out, because it's going to ask you questions you should be asking yourself before you spend that much money on a PC. Favorite flavor, sparkling water braid? Usually just some lime in there is all I need, and not sweetened, just like LaCroix kind of stuff. But there was one that there was like a peach one that they had at HEB that I really liked. What was it? Peach something. I don't remember. The thing is, all I've been drinking is unflavored sparkling water because I just use a SodaStream. Do I have it here? I have a tiny bottle of like lime essence from SodaStream that you can add in there to get that sort of unsweetened lime hint of lime in there, but I rarely do it. It's just water. Like, it's just sparkling water. It's great. Because of my work that I did just before I went full-time content creator, where I was like, where I was an enterprise ISP technician. I did have stuff where I was like an IT administrator and stuff like that, but I got out of the straight up IT world to go over to telecommunications, and I was doing enterprise telecom, and that was great. But it was hard work, and it was like, you know, you're going up to poles on a 28-foot ladder, running RG11, just like this really thick coax cable, crazy thick coax cable, and you're running a 150-foot drop and having to lift it up, put it up there. And this is Texas, so in the summer you're like dying out there. So I got into the habit of drinking a ton of water. So now if I don't drink a lot of water, I feel awful. Like, I feel bad. My body is like, no, we need this. Even if I'm sedentary now, at least it's healthy. It's good for you. But I don't drink like gallons at a time to where it'll make me sick or anything. Black cherry for the win. Oh, okay. That's your stuff then? None. TV static with a hint of the smell of fruit. If you described it to an alien, isn't fun to me. I wish it was an FSKU for video editing. Deathly Nightshade. That does make sense. Well, once the microcord update is out, you can look at a 14700F, 14700K, and you'll be good. I said F again. No F. Get the F out of there, and then you can get your QuickSync. Spectre, the main difference is that the 14700K has onboard video. The 14700KF, because it has an F in the SKU, does not have onboard video on the CPU. That, for the most part, that helps with two things. It helps with video editing, okay, if the application uses like Adobe video editing, and it helps with troubleshooting if you're having issues with your GPU. Those are the main difference. The main difference, though, is that the non-F SKU has video built into the CPU. It can do encoding on its own, too. You could do CPU encoding for your streams. It's pretty cool. Okay, so nobody else filled out... Has anybody else filled out the form? We are waiting on that right now. Water flavor is my favorite flavor of sparkling water. That's great. Water is one of those things. The flavor is heavily influenced by the temperature it's at. Yeah. So there's that too. I have some Uncle Linus's potato moonshine in my water bottle. Is that it, or is it on the outside of your water bottle? I wanted to buy that one. I didn't, though. That was a great video. Was Grump going to fill out the form? Let's find out. Not yet, but I don't want anyone rushing through the form anyway. Good thing, Grunt Fat, is that you're in the Twitch chat, meaning that you can send me the link through a Twitch Whisper, after you have filled out the form, so that I know whether it's good or not based on your needs and your budget. Oh yeah, I linked it right after you asked me that. Orange Vanilla Polar is crack if you're in the Northeast. What is that? Orange Vanilla Polar. But yeah, right after, if you go back up and look at where I typed in the form command, that was me responding to that. But yeah, it had just posted too, right before I said, someone else did, Deathly Nightshade did it. So there are 3 of them right there. But you're good. Both. I take it to the dirt track races. Oh, Polar is a brand. Okay. Like, I don't like sweet water. It's kind of weird to me. And I rarely ever drink soda these days. So maybe that's why. Really, everywhere I go, I just drink water most of the time. Now and then I'll do an energy drink if I really need a boost in energy. But, like, it's not a habit for me. Yeah, man. I really just mostly drink water. I go through a lot of it. I'll get those like Ozarka 2.5 gallon, like that lay in your fridge and you have the little nozzle on the front. I just fill up my bottle from that, fizz it up, and then I'm good to go. I've been thinking about getting, I used to have a Primo water dispenser. I've been thinking about getting one again just because I'm at home most of the time. It would make sense to do that. I would save money on water that way. What's the link to your music? Got it. Was active listening all. Sorry. No problem. Link to music. It's not my music, but oh wait, you mean my music like on SoundCloud, or the background music that you're hearing now? Dirt Shooter. Which one are you talking about? I think that it's just flavor. I don't think that Polar is sweetened, if I recall correctly. Oh, okay. Oh, you have a Micro Center near you. Okay. You posted the link in here. That's one way to. Okay. Grumfat, I'm not going to recommend this because it's cyber power. Yeah. Well, we'll take a look at it. I don't think that they really deserve your money yet. Maybe they will. Also, if you're doing more than just gaming, you should hold off for 9000 series. That's my advice. But let's go ahead and take a look. I mean, it's a nice case. I like the NV5. What is this? Wait. Lee and Lee Prism. What are they talking about, Lee and Lee? That's a... Is that a new case from Lee and Lee that I don't know about? I really should have visited their booth at Computex. Can't believe I didn't, honestly. But okay. And also, you said you wanted a black PC. This is a white case, but anyways. Okay. Why is this so like hard to read? Hold on. Oh, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. 14900 KF. I can't recommend that right now until they come out with their microcode update and we have verified that it works and they're not crashing anymore or getting irreparably damaged. So that's going to be a no for both of these. 64 gigs of RAM is nice, and it's 32 gigs by 2. Don't know what kind of cooler that is. I can look, I guess. 4080 Super is good at this price. But yeah, I guess for music production, the 14900 KF, the extra cores would be nice. I would say 14700K is all you need, really. 1000 watt power supply, appropriate for the build. Yeah, 4 terabyte Gen 4 drive. Don't know any specs on that. Wait a second. No, they didn't. There's no way. There's no freaking way. No! Cyberpower, no. No. You don't do that. Oh my God. I thought they were over this. This system has no intake fans. There are zero, unless these are reverse flow, and hopefully they would say that. Let's see here. Will they tell us that they're reverse flow? Let's find out. Extra case fans. Not reverse flow. Not mentioned anyway. 3 120mm CyberPower PC, dual addressable digital ARGB, yada, yada, yada. Okay. Wait, 3-pin? They're also not PWM. This system has got no intake. There are no intake fans. To keep it pretty, they set all of the fans as exhaust. And that is the worst. I hate that about CyberPower. They do that. They did that all the time. And then I would see some systems where like, oh, they're not doing that anymore. Yay, good job, guys. Here you go. To make it prettier, they put it to where the framing for the hub is on the back, right? That means this is set up to push air out. And none of the fans are bringing fresh air into the system. Braden, I was calling for you for like 15 minutes, but sure, I can do yours after this. You came in right after this. Let me tell you how close this was. Okay, this was added here. They filled out the form 2319. Okay. Yeah, that was 4 minutes ago. Oops. If you're going to go, please let me know so that I don't sit around calling your name for a while and I can move on to the next person. That would be majorly appreciated. And I usually say that. I didn't say that this time, so it's on me. All right. Grumpfat, that is a hard no from me on this. Terrible support from CyberPower PC, unless they changed everything and didn't tell anyone. And I would probably be the person to tell if you want to tell someone who has a pre-built audience. CyberPower. Okay. And they don't understand airflow. Or worst case, they do understand airflow and they don't care. Also, 14900KF. I can't recommend that until we validate that the microcode fixes will fix any, hopefully fix future issues with 14th gen high-end CPUs. It seems like a good deal on the surface, but that's about all it's got going for it. Also, there's no, like this, that's not a 4080 Super. I've never seen a 4080 Super that small. Do they have any notes here saying that the picture, shown picture, system picture shown with optional accessories? No, that's not the case. Is the optional accessories a 4060? No, they need to put that it does not necessarily reflect the actual end product that you're buying or this specification of system. But whatever, that's just semantics. Anyways, I can't. No, I'm not gonna. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. That's the back. I think the fans. I mean, no, it's not. That's why it took a little time looking at it, and I looked at it from the side too. But you can see how clear this is, the center of the hub, and this is blurry because the fans are spinning in front of it. Look right here. You see it's darker in these pixels right here because that's not behind the fan. It's being shown. I'll find another picture just to verify that for you. But no, I did look at that before I went up here. This one right here. Here you go. I appreciate the feedback, and although a great deal will pass, it's not a good deal. It's not a good deal. Unless you're planning on taking it apart and fixing everything, it's not a good deal. And like their customer service is part of what you're buying. Remember, that is a difficult, it's difficult to quantify the value of customer service until you're trying to get some freaking help. Then it's really clear that good customer service makes all the difference. And it's not just in like the frustrating sense, but also, hey, we're not fixing this or that or the other for you because blank. That could potentially be an issue. If it's just bad customer service all around, that's not one bad person you might have talked to. It's bad blanket policies, bad training, things like that. That's what they need to fix, a fundamental aspect of their company. So this might seem like a good deal, and for about, for the moment where you choose it and pay for it, in parts, it's a pretty good deal. But that's not what you're getting when you get a pre-built. You're buying from the company. You're buying their guarantee, their warranty, their service, all of that. And if that's not good, also their knowledge. This displays in an egregious fashion their lack of knowledge or their lack of caring for it. They want it to look nice. They don't care if it works nice. Did my form go through? I sent it yesterday. Just joined, by the way. Well, Kid Cool, you do need to let me know when you join, and you just did that. I don't know if your form went through, but because you didn't come up during the roll call. Kid Cool 1827. I don't see anyone under the name Kid Cool 1827 that submitted a form yesterday. What's up, Dylan Rags? How's it going? Grumpfat, good PC deals happen all the time. You just need to know the right places to look. I mean, it's just, yeah, like the purchasing part and how much you pay for it and whether you save a buck or not matters now. 2-3 years from now, it's not going to matter as much. What's going to matter is the ownership experience. Now, if you disagree with that, that's okay. That value is subjective. If you disagree with that, that's totally fine. But here's the thing. I'm going to recommend, because you said, let me see. You said here, when I asked, do you plan on upgrading your CPU over time? You answered, yes. That sounds good to me. I'd like to potentially do that. With this system, you cannot do that. There is not going to be a CPU upgrade from the 14900KF. There is no, I mean, I guess the 14900KS, don't buy that. It is a waste of money. Unless that's as an upgrade, it's a complete waste. I would push you towards AMD, not Intel, because with AMD's socket AM5, you're going to have years of new CPUs to look forward to. In fact, in 15 days, there's going to be new ones. So my recommendation is thus. Because you're not just looking for gaming, you want to do music production, the production capabilities of 9000 series should be greater by a pretty fair margin than 7000 series. And it's 15 days away from launch. Just hold out a little bit. Wait for that. You could even get it from Micro Center because you have one close by. You listed it right here. Cambridge, Massachusetts, right there. I have an Alexander PC that I bought because of you, and the service has been great, but looking for an upgrade, and I really didn't want to pay the extra 1K. Oh yeah, the upgrade service, it can be expensive. I mean, it is. It's really them unbuilding and then rebuilding your PC in certain ways, right? Especially if it's going to be a significant upgrade, like you need a new motherboard or something. That's basically like building a PC plus extra work. And then shipping and stuff, all that, the parts, whatever. But if you want to just upgrade it yourself, over the next few months, that series is coming out from me, pre-built, rebuilt. So I can show you how to do that in videos, and you can come in here and ask for a list of parts for your upgrade. And you'd be like, how do I do it? I'll be like, I made videos on exactly that. How to add storage, how to swap out your GPU, how to swap out your CPU, your cooler, all of those things. Okay, no worries. I'll submit again. Okay, I'm going to ask you this. KidCool1827. Did you use a different name? Because on the form, the very first thing it shows, and I have a demonstration here, is I show that you must match the name that shows up in chat on your form. Where it asks for your name, it's got to match, okay? So if you're going to fill it out again, please make sure that matches, or else we can't do it. Because that's how I verify. Well, I guess I'll know it's you because you just submitted it, but yeah. Just make sure the name matches that KidCool1827 that's showing up in chat right now, okay? I imagine that this is probably you, but the name doesn't match. Thanks again, man. You helped me tremendously through this process both times. Happy to do it. And you know, I want you to make sure you understand. If I'm being adamant about something, it's not anything towards you or against you or anything. I think I accidentally. Oh, there we go. And don't be offended by that. It's just that I'm very passionate about this stuff, and sometimes to get the point across, I feel like I need to be extra adamant about it. And I just want to make sure that you don't get screwed over. So Grumpfat, my suggestion to you is that you hold off until 9000 series launches. I could do a Micro Center build for you, and then you get it from them. If you're close to Micro Center, as you listed here, that yes, you are. And then all you do is when 9000 series launches, just swap out the CPU for the, 9750X. Or it really depends on what you're going to be doing, but probably I would go with like a 7900 XTX. So you probably should be able to do a 9750X. 9950X. What the hell is a 9750X? 9950X. Numbers. God. 9950X or a 9900X, depending on budget constraints, things like that. 9750X. I hope they don't release a 9750X. That would just be confusing for everybody. Yeah, Brave, if you had a superpower, it would be passion. It sometimes is a little bit of a burden. I get up in arms about stuff that I really shouldn't, I think. What is going on here? Okay, it's just that. Grumpfat, oh, thank you for the sub. But I was asking if you wanted to... Okay. I was asking if you wanted to do a Micro Center build, and you can just change the... Okay. Well, Braden, we can do yours now then. Okay. Braden, are you still here? Let me see if you're in chat. Yes, it shows you're still in chat. I've got one for you already. The only downside, and I think I was asking this earlier, but how dedicated are you to the white aesthetic of the build? Because you're very close you're basically exactly in the same spot as Mark was here. So I basically recommend the same system, but it's not a white system, but it is an incredible value. At, with the $1,500 price point. Hey, Bray, if I built my own, thanks for the list. How long do you keep the boxes for? I keep every box until the end of time. What you do is you take the PC case box and you put all the smaller boxes in there, okay? Or you keep them in a separate one in case you need your PC case box available in order to store your PC or ship it somewhere if you're moving or whatever. But you basically keep them all together in the PC box, including any invoices, receipts, things like that from wherever you bought your parts, Amazon, Newegg, wherever. Keep all of that stuff because you need those things for RMAs. 4070 cups, 7600. Cups? What do you mean cups? I think they just released that BIOS today for my board. My system's white, but it's got a lot of RGB fans and the AIO. Okay. Well, what's up, Hellboy? Welcome to the stream. Or if you upgrade and decide to sell a piece later, yeah, having them for resale is really nice. You want the original packaging. It can help you, demand more money for your parts. Which is, do I need to tell you that that's a good thing? You know that's a good thing. Braythorn says, Gary Lee Lasser, after they fix the Intel microcode, how long would it take for you to be comfortable using 13th and 14th gen? I don't think I'm going to be comfortable with 13th gen at all. Oh my, this ran out of, why aren't you charging? Oh, it's not plugged in. Oh well. I lost my fill light, so now I'm very dramatic with my shadow over here, and that's okay. Okay. So the question is, okay, 13th gen, I'm not going to be comfortable recommending it to anybody. There's no telling whether that CPU was part of the batch that fell victim to the oxidization issue. 14th gen apparently is free from that, but the microcode has been the problem. So once it's been validated, and you better believe that there are going to be lots of content creators out there doing that. I have this production I'm already really invested in right now that I'm having to do. I'm not the channel for testing and validation. Hardware Unboxed, Gamers Nexus, they've got it. LTT Labs, all that, they've got it. Like, I don't need to do that validation. I'm going to let them do it. But it's going to be time. We're going to need probably a few weeks at the very least in order for people to start reporting back. Keep an eye on Reddit. Keep an eye on those YouTube channels. Let's see what they say. I guess Braden took off again. No, you're there. Okay, Braden. Okay, I know there's some lag on the YouTube stream. I know that. Okay, I just saw your message pop up. So I need you to really focus in and be responsive here, okay? So as I was saying, for yours, I basically recommend the same PC that I recommended for Mark here, okay? That is this one here. It's not a white PC, I know. But the value here is crazy. This is a little above 1,500. It's at 1,579 before my discount. So it's going to be less than what you see there. But it is the top dog, current top dog, 7800X3D and a Radeon 7800 XT, which, as I was showing here, I guess I went back to show that whole page. In 1440p Ultra is pretty high in performance here. Now, if you care a lot about ray tracing, you might want something that's going to be like a 4070 Super, but you're going to spend a couple $100 extra to get that, okay? 7800 XT is on par with the previous monstrosity of a flagship card, the RTX 3090. Look at that. It's like same performance as a 3090 in 1440p Ultra. That's bananas, okay? That is bonkers performance. Sounds like a topic Austin Evans might make a video on. I don't know. Austin, like, he's done deeply analytical stuff, but this I think is more in the vein of Level 1 Tech's, Gamers Nexus, because I don't think I've seen a deep dive video on the issue at all. And that's because when you sort of find your niche, or like, which you have to be adaptable as a YouTuber, you have to sort of shift. With the recession, that's when I really started to focus on trying to do pre-built, rebuilt, because with the recession, people can't necessarily buy new PCs, and I'm not helping them that much. So instead, upgrade what you got, right? So his content has shifted from, and it wasn't really a focus for him for like it is for those really deeply analytical channels. He might cover it as a video, but I don't think it's going to be the most comprehensive video like you're going to get from Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unboxed, Level 1 Techs, that kind of thing. You also don't have to keep that glass front too. If you don't want, you can just pop the mesh front on there. Yep. I wouldn't do it unless you're putting the fans on the front, because then you're going to be spoiling that airflow. Some of it's going to go out the front mesh instead of curving around and going into the rest of the system. But if you move it to where it's front intake, then yeah, you can totally do that. Is this for me? Yeah, Braden, I've been talking to you. Yes, this whole time. And I've been saying your name too. Yes, it's for you. Wow, that's some lag right there. Good gravy. 47, Hellboy says, 4070 graphics card, 7600 CPUs. Why are you just saying parts? What are you trying to get out of me, Hellboy? I don't understand. I guess it's pretty hard to type with that like giant red hand, and I'm not trying to be dismissive of that. Like it's really good for punching. I recognize that, but probably not great for typing. But yeah, Crash, that is something to consider though. If you take this case and you swap out, like right now, I believe these are reverse flow here. Okay, if they're not, flip them around, please. But you have intake on the bottom and side intake here, if this is set up as intake. If this is not set up as intake, and these are set up as exhaust, you absolutely want to pivot this towards the front and put on the mesh front panel. But if this is set up as intake and you have the mesh, it's going to hit this glass right here, and then some of it is going to eject out the front mesh. So you only want to use that mesh front panel if you're setting it up with front intake fans. I like that one a lot. All right, cool. I'm just going to use the same link because it is the same system. I mean, there's a reason that system was front and center on my last video. It's because it's a banging good deal. It's a banger of a deal, is what I'm trying to say. I'm mixing up my words now. Get those cyberpower tabs out of here. Okay. But yeah, here's the thing, Braden. Here's what you need to do, okay? When you're on this, when you go add this to cart to get the price down, here's what you need. Hold on. Let me get the link for you, post it in chat. What's a good first to buy built PC? Are you talking about you want a pre-built? Hellboy, look at the description, click the link in the description. When you proceed to checkout, this is where you enter the promo code. Now, if you want to, you can even tell them, hey, wait, where is it? Where's the thing to have them build it? Oh, that's for custom systems. My bad. That's not on here. But yeah, you do that there. Enter your promo code SWARM. That takes about $50 off the system for you, okay? Is that a King 95 Pro or did the SI add fans? It is not the Pro. And you can tell because it doesn't have the trademark Montech sort of outer illumination on the fans. It's all the hub fan illumination. These are Skytech fans. So I doubt that this is reverse flow, and they probably need to be flipped around. That, or you swap the front glass for the front mesh, and this bracket right here pivots and locks into the front, and then you have front intake, and then you're good to go. But if you want this look, you just have to remove 4 screws from each fan, flip it around, put the screws back, you're done. That's going to be part of the coverage, part of the fan video for pre-built rebuilt on how to do that. Okay, it's not going to be tough. It's really easy to do. Also, I like watching your videos. Thank you, Hellboy. Appreciate that. Man, that is a nice case. It's unique. It is a nice, unique case. Okay, gang, time to get some din-din. I could not agree more. I don't think I'm going to do another one tonight. We've done a good bit here. But also, I was pretty much feeling like we're only going to do a few. It's only if they're gaming-only systems. That's my focus. Because yeah, the top dog for content creation and for 3D design, graphic design, all those kinds of things, it's going to be the Ryzen 9 9950X. There's no question about that. And also you'll find probably that like a 9900X is going to be competing with like 14900K and stuff like that. We'll see. It might not. That's a lot of cores in the 14900K. It's 24 core CPU, but still, the uplift in IPC, all of that, and it's going to do it using less power. It's great. It's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I could be wrong. I love the front I/O on the King 95. It's good. You know, it's got that. It has separate headphone and microphone jacks, which I like personally. There are cases that have the combined jack that don't send it with the adapter to split it. The splitter, that bothers me. But also, you have both USB 3.0 instead of just one, and then USB-C. It's nice. And they save money by not making it modular where you can move it around like on the O11 Evo and stuff like that. So, with that, it helps to keep prices down. It helps deals like this exist. honestly, between having the 2 terabyte drive and the 1 terabyte here, right? Because this one has the smaller drive than that $1,800 system we looked at. And between this having the higher wattage power supply than the other, I'd rather get the system with the higher wattage power supply because storage is easy to add, but power supplies can be a pain to swap out if you ever need to. And storage is additive, whereas changing your power supply is subtractive. Like you have to take out the old one, and what are you going to do with it after that? Build another computer? You don't do that. That's why you bought a pre-built, right? So yeah. Have a good night, Gary. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate that. Thanks so much, man. I'm so lost with this stuff because I'm new. Thanks for the help. I'll come back for more help. The last question, pre-built come with yes, it comes with Windows. It's activated. Yeah, it actually says right there, operating system, Windows 11 Home. I guess I'm not here. There you go. Windows 11 Home. There's all the details if you want to screenshot what all the specs are and stuff, but you can also look at it on the website that I linked to you. There you go. 850 watt is a sweet spot. That's going to change. I mean, 50 series is going to be coming out, and they're estimating that even, though you don't need 850 watts for the 60 class card, I think they're estimating like a 40 or 50 watt increase in power draw. Or was it 30 or 40? I don't know. A big power draw increase for the 60 class card, which is crazy. I don't even know if when they're going to announce the 60 class card. It's going to be the 5080 first. That's what's going to be announced and launched first. P cores and E cores versus what are just P cores, which is better? John, it's gonna vary. I mean, it depends on your use case because when it comes down to it, for video editing, the 14900K is better than the 7950X. However, it uses a lot more power, and it's also puts out a lot more heat. And it had all those microcode issues. Plus, you get that, and there's no upgrading from there. There's no CPU upgrading. There's all these various factors. If you're using Blender, the 7950X and 7950X 3D were better than the 14900K. It comes down to the circumstances, to the use case. That's what matters. Most of the time, in production stuff, Intel was winning. The problem is, as I experienced for myself, that doesn't matter if microcode issues keep you from being able to export videos and keeps freezing Adobe and eventually your entire PC every time you just want to create a video because it's what you do for a living. I'm sorry, that was a stressful time for me. Honestly, when it comes down to it, what you want, especially if you're trying to do production stuff of any kind, if you're trying to crank out some G codes, you can, use a CNC, or you're trying to 3D print, or whatever you're trying to do. If you're trying to do 3D design in Blender, if you're trying to design games and or compile code, just things like that. What matters is reliability. That's what matters the most, because it doesn't matter if it's a few percentage points faster if it doesn't freaking work. And Intel really screwed the pooch here on this. They really did when it came to trust, when it came to consumer trust. I'm not letting them off the hook for this. I don't care that, oh, maybe Intel will be mad at me. All right, we're mad at you. Join the party. Like, they had a really good reputation, and they squandered that. If you have a fab issue with tens of thousands of CPUs, and you let a year and a half pass without saying a word until, people are complaining now. What about all those RMAs that we declined, even though we knew that there was an issue in fabrication? Oh no. I guess we'll admit it. And even then, it took them months to admit to the problem. Months. Like, Pat, what's going on over there, Pat? What you doing? We thought you were doing good stuff. Calling your CPUs Papa and all that. It's cool. It's great. But like, Papa went out for milk and he ain't come back yet. And it's been a year and a half. Why would you allow this to happen under your watch? It's not cool. It is, in fact, the opposite of that. So this informs my recommendations moving forward. Like, I know there's going to be hardcore Intel fans out there, but you don't owe them anything. In fact, they are now in the red and in debt to you, especially if you're on 13th gen and potentially have oxidization in your CPU, which is irreparable. It was made wrong. I just had an idea for a fill light. Hold on, I got this. Where did my window go? It's right here. There we go. Got a little bit of a fill light there. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there we go. The TV over there is on, so I put the white window on there. Carajers, have a good night. Anyway, that's enough ranting out of me, I think. I know you guys enjoy a good rant, but in a way, I'm tired of it. I get tired of ranting after a while. I just want stuff to work. I just want you guys to know that you can make your purchase and not have some drama come up, not some like industry, like some company corporate secret or cover up mean like now you can't trust your own CPU. There's no timeline where I want that. You know? You deserve better. And you're not like Intel needs to do better. And honestly, it's not unkind of me to say so. I want them to be that, hey, no, it's Intel. This is good. You're good. It's a good option. It's a solid option. Look at what they're doing. Look at the innovation they're doing, yada, yada. They're at first their hybrid architecture was like awesome for content, for multi-purpose machines. It was the GOAT. They weren't the top dog in gaming, but like, okay, they were still up there. And in some games, still, particularly ones that were, favoring Intel, that's going to still be a thing. That's not going away. They were beating the 14900K would beat the 7800 XT. Okay, cool. But like, VRAM, not enough VRAM issues, errors, things like that. Suddenly, winning there doesn't matter anymore. So it's not that they should never have problems and everything should be manufactured perfectly. That doesn't exist. That doesn't happen. But I'm tired of this industry, of companies in this industry feeling like they can just get away with stuff like that. I'm going to tell y'all something, and this is something that is personally very important to me, okay? Anytime that there is a company that has been caught in a lie, caught obfuscating the truth, caught sidestepping the truth and sidestepping responsibility, there's something there that they missed. That exact same problem, that same thing that they avoided or hid or whatever, that was an opportunity to gain consumer trust. When you have a problem and you go fractal on it and you say, hey, this is a problem before anyone even said anything, we're just going to recall these and we're going to fix it. Bam. Trust grows. So when there are problems, and this doesn't just go for companies, guys, this goes for relationships, friendships. When there's something that you feel is something you need to hide or that you don't want the other person to know, or in the terms of companies, that they don't want their consumers to know, guess what? That, if you can overcome it, has now become an opportunity to grow trust. And as usual, doing the right thing is usually the harder thing. If a company feels like they're going to lose money going that route, guess what? How much is your reputation worth? Because in this climate, in this social media climate, in the content that's out there, the content creators that are out there, it will not stay hidden forever. Make the right choice, when the problem happens and you are then doing the right thing. And that is not a subjective value. That is an objective value in the long run. I think that's it. That's all I had to say. I'm good with that. Man. That was just right off the top of the coconut, man. I've actually clipped that one. I should clip that. I'm going to put that as a short because I feel very strongly about this. It's something that has resonated for me throughout my life. And I'm not always on the right side of that. There have been times in my life where I was on the wrong side of that, and I realized it. And it's a hard lesson to learn. So please take that, absorb it, use it yourself. Like it helps you build. It will help you build relationships. Things like with Fractal, it was awkward at first when they had, it was in the torrent, I believe it was in the torrent where they had the fan hub that could cause fires. And instead of pulling an NZXT and hiding that, or, basically, no, that's not true. It can't be true. Instead, they were like, yo, we messed up. Like, this is going to ground out, and it's a problem. We're going to cover the cost. We're going to get all these back, and we're going to replace them for you. Dunyan rings, baby. And right off the bat, Gamers Nexus was all over. Like, this is what we want to see. How much would you, as a company, like to hear that from Steve about you? Well, it takes a bit to get there. And that bit is a little bit of honesty, not just with your consumers, but with yourselves. Hey, we screwed up like companies do. And what are we going to do about it? It's not whether you make mistakes that makes you a good company. It's what you do about it after the fact. That's not a unique thought of mine. It's pretty universal belief there. AB2, so tired of being angry all the time. I just move on to alternative. Well, here's the thing. It should be a teachable moment for these companies and for people in general. It should be a teachable moment. Like, you know what? Man, we're Intel. We're one of the biggest tech companies in the world. Let's not do that again. Let's say, hey, you know what? We're opening up. If you're experiencing even the slightest issue, we're opening up RMAs. Send them in. Okay? We're going to do a good faith replacement for you. They said they fixed the oxidization issue in 2023. Right when they did that was when they opened the program to have those new CPUs, send them out. It just like get the other ones in, send out new CPUs, done. There are people who are just going to be like, nah, I'm good. I don't care, or whatever, right? You're not going to eat the entire cost, but yeah, it's a big cost. Okay? But you can put a number on that cost. You cannot put a value on your brand identity and your brand trust with consumers. You cannot do that. Unless you're trying to put a value when you're filling out your bankruptcy. You'll know the value then if you go that route. But the risk when you admit a problem is that, well, someone sends it in for an RMA and now there are eyes on us. We have to fulfill these RMAs. Well, now instead of that, we know that from consumer reporting, that they refused RMAs while they were aware there was a known issue with those CPUs, and they refused RMAs. Yeah, that is the worst. That is the worst right there. But that's pretty much, let me see. Carlito Bandito X, what's going on? Hey, Braith, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I ended up getting the build you recommended, and it's been awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm happy to hear that. Would you be interested in playing Terraria next Sunday, Bray? I don't think so. I kind of did my whole turn with Terraria way back, and it never really stuck for me as something that I would play a lot. I don't know when I'm going to play next Sunday, but it's probably not going to be another map rando. No, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I was thinking of I've been wanting to play Sons of the Forest, so maybe that. Like I haven't played that game through yet. Only just like 45 minutes of it. I don't get much time to game, but you know, we'll see. But guys, if you're if you're watching over on YouTube and you want to join for a raid, I would hugely appreciate that. Come on over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Brayathorn. Come on over and join the raid. You know what? I'm going to do this. I never do this, but let's do this. Come on over, join the Twitch channel so we can go raid somebody. That would mean a lot to me. If what I do means a lot to you, if you like what I do, then this is a free way to do something that means a lot to me. I think too many times, Ghost Punter says, I think too many times there's a question in RMA is when is it user error and when is it something that happened in shipping process? I don't think anything in the shipping process could have caused the internal oxidization. That's in the part of the fab process. And they admitted that there was a problem with the fabrication process. Watch the Gamers Nexus video on it. Watch the level 1 text video on it. Roby did a video covering it as well, but not before. That was before Intel came out with their admission of the issue. The latest Gamers Nexus video on that topic is the one you want to watch the most, probably because that's when they show diagrams and stuff that are really helpful. It is a B raid. All right. I mean, we saw a couple people seem to have come over from YouTube. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate it. Let's find somebody to raid. And we're coming back on Thursday doing more PC matchmaking. But I don't know that I'm going to do it again after that until the 15th. Let me check the calendar here. We're going to have streams on the 6th, 8th, and 13th. For some kind of PC something. I might not stream then, I guess, if I'm trying to get content out. Like the stream on the 15th, that Thursday stream on the 15th is going to be an extra long stream. Okay, I'm gonna try to start at like 4 or 5 p.m. Central. That's like an 8-hour stream. So I might skip the Tuesday stream then, but not Sunday streams on Twitch or gaming only. Those are just fun, and I'd love it if y'all joined. And on next Tuesday, Thursday, I don't know what I'm going to do. It might be PC matchmaking, but it could be that your last chance for it until after the launch is going to be this coming Thursday. So join here, 8 p.m. Central. You'll be here on YouTube or on Twitch, either way. Okay, so we're going to have 23 viewers. That's fine. We'll go ahead and raid with that. It's funny. It's matching 23 on both right now. But yeah, J-Dog, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for coming over. And yeah, we could have 46 people raiding if everyone on YouTube came over to Twitch. That sounds nice. I'll give a minute for that. I'll give a little time for that. There might be some of y'all that don't even have a Twitch account. And if you're willing to actually just set one up real quick to do that, then you could do it every time we do one of these and join the raid and maybe get a feel for that Twitch streaming culture. It's fun. I love streaming on Twitch. It's great. But let's see who's streaming right now. Liker Zero, Alexander PCs, Mired Media, Emmet is streaming again. Wait, are they doing a race right now? Ah, Maximilian Dude is streaming. That would be a drop in the bucket for him. He's got 9,000 people in there. Wait, Premiere 2 is streaming and there's 28 people there? What? No way. 28 people with Pete? Hang on a second. Did he just start? 3 minutes ago. Okay, he's not even like in there yet. It's going to grow to a lot more people. I don't know if you guys watch Premiere 2 or like any of like, there's like a good group of, there's like the Trash Taste guys and, they'll work with Pete on stuff and he's over there in Japan and all that. Really cool. Always enjoy the raids. Thank you, Jazzman. I do appreciate that. We should have a way to specify gaming PC matchmaking only streams for times like these. Well, I do in the schedule. It's there. Okay. We're still at 20. We're going to be at 23. That's what we're going to get. But But let's go ahead and we can drop in on. Let me see what Emmett is doing. Is he racing right now? Yeah, this is a rando, I think. Okay. Let's go to watch Emmett. He's like, I watch all these Metroid randos. This is someone. He was one of the 4 people that was part of the any % race at SGDQ very recently, and like those guys, all 4 of those guys were bonkers speedrunners, just super great. But he's a funny guy. We'll go hang out there. Yeah, it's a rando. Let's go do that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Sorry I got all serious there at the end. It's just a very serious topic for me. But let's go do that. So we will. All right, guys. You know what the deal is. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to say something nice to the streamer, even if you got to go. But if you want to see someone who's really good at running these randos, stick around and watch. It is a very different experience from watching me on Sundays when my amateur butt is trying to do it. So let's get it going. And until Thursday, until the next one, take care, guys.
Let's go, nerd!